What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. Tenda. Chapter 251 The real culprit who killed Princess Odahime is. Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Advertisement. It was just 2 hours before and after. Pirate riots all over the Fishmen Island are over. The people who set out on the expedition returned to Dragon Palace City one after another. At the same time, the reasons behind this sudden incident have gradually surfaced. Father, although no key evidence has been found yet, there is a high probability that the mastermind behind this incident is Hody Jones. The big prince, Sha Xing, reported with a frightened look on his face. Hody, that B**************, what the hell is he trying to do? The second prince, Long Xing, had an ugly expression on his face. I heard that he seems to have formed a new Murloc pirates recently, could it be? The third prince was shocked. The new Murloc pirates. Speaking of which, we seem to have encountered it when we came here this morning. Yamato nodded thoughtfully. 29 what? How come? The expressions of the Murloc princes changed suddenly. Your Excellency Chi Yu, I am really sorry, if there is any conflict, please forgive me. King Neptune also apologized repeatedly. Don't worry, I didn't mean to blame you. Chi Yu waved his hand nonchalantly. It's you, Neptune, who let this evil force grow wantonly, and it may bring disaster to the whole country in the future. Chi Yu whispered a reminder. I know, Neptune nodded gravely. But Murloc Street is a problem left over from history, Odahime once. Princess Yi, I think about it now. Chi Yu nodded knowingly. Advertisement. The real culprit who killed Princess Odahime 8 years ago, little Shirahoshi, you should know. Nani. As soon as Chi Yu said this, the huge banquet hall was instantly shaken. The one who killed the Queen Mother, the real culprit. Didn't Queen Mother be killed by human pirates? Why did Mr. Chi Yu say that? Shark Star, Dragon Star, and Crash Star were all puzzled. King Neptune's expression froze, and he clenched his fist subconsciously. Princess Shirahoshi, little Shirahoshi, do you know anything? Yamato and Robin locked eyes on Shirahoshi. Immediately afterwards, the eyes of Neptune and others also fell on Shirahoshi. He sensed the questioning gazes from all directions. Shirahoshi pursed his lips, tears welled up, and he was about to cry. Shirahoshi, don't be afraid. Tell your father what you know. Neptune comforted in a soft voice. But. Tears the size of washbasins formed a string and rolled down Shirahoshi's eyes. The Queen Mother didn't let me say it back then. Boom. As soon as the words came out, Neptune, the princes, and the Minister of Seahorse Catfish all felt a bang in their heads. If struck by lightning, even Shirahoshi didn't say anything yet. But this one sentence is enough to explain everything. Advertisement. That assassination. The shot at Gidekalong Square was tricky. The person who shot the murderer may not be a human pirate. It was the Murloc soldier who captured the human pirate, Hody Jones. Think here. The eyes of King Neptune, Shark Star and other princes couldn't help but turn red. Hody. Is that Hody? Hody Jones did it. Shark Star, Dragon Star, and Crash Star looked panicked. Hody Jones. Neptune's low growl suppressed the explosion of anger, echoing in the banquet hall. At this moment, the sea surged with his anger. Hody Jones, the truth turns out to be like this. The human pirate 8 years ago was just a scapegoat. It's just that Hody wants to intensify the relationship between us Murlocs and humans. It's all done by that Huodi. It cannot be forgiven, it is really unforgivable. 857 The left minister of Catfish, the right minister of Hema and others were also shocked by this truth, and they were so frightened and angry that they couldn't be added, and then they felt infinite anger in their hearts. The second prince, Huang Xing, and the third prince, Rolling Star, were already smoking smoke above their heads. Even the always mature and prudent great Prince Shark Star had red eyes, and his breathing became heavy. The anger in their hearts was unstoppable. If it wasn't for the last sliver of reason in his heart, he would have already erupted. Shark Star, gather the Poseidon army immediately, follow me to Murloc Street, I want to ask Hody personally about what happened back then. What was the truth 8 years ago? Was Odahime killed by that pirate or was she killed by him? Having found a target to vent, Neptune regained his previous sharpness, suppressing the rage in his heart and ordered. Yes, father. The eldest prince, Sha Xing, responded and led his 2 younger brothers to regroup the troops. Advertisement Chapter 252 Anger. Murloc Hody and his gang. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Murloc Street. This was supposed to be a shelter for orphans from the Fishmen Island. But with the passage of time, especially after the death of the Murloc hero Fisher Tiger, evil breeds and distorts rapidly here. There was the Arlong gang before. Later, there is Hody Jones who inherits Arlong's will and further twists it. Today, this place has turned into a dark and lawless place for the Murlocs. Jajiahia, this little pill is really powerful. Just one pill can double a person's strength. If we eat dozens or even hundreds of pills at once, what kind of powerful power will we gain? Wearing the helmet of an ancient oriental warrior, Bodhidharma, the head of the new Murloc pirates, who looks like a frog, said with a big smile. The evil drug S can bring out a person's potential several times or even dozens of times. With such a unique product, we will become the strongest. The Fishmen Island will gain S*X under our power. The bearded shark man Joe folded his arms, sat on the sofa with a cool look, and opened his mouth in a serious manner. However, it was ignored by everyone gorgeously. No one noticed him. Because he was born without much sense of existence. Even so, he remained calm. No, Captain Howdy. Captain Howdy, it's not good. Neptune's King's army is here. There were anxious shouts from outside the door. A Murloc crawled over with his eyes wide open. Come and come, there is nothing to lie about. Joe, who has a high self-esteem and a very low sense of existence, said that no one paid attention to it. Although he was very angry in his heart, he still had to pretend to be nonchalant on the surface. King Neptune, and the three princes Shark Star, Dragon Star, and Crash Star, backquote. All the top officials of the Fishman Island Kingdom are here. Advertisement. The Murloc pirates said in horror. It seems that our actions have gone wrong. But why so quickly? That's 10,000 pirates. It should be able to turn the Fishman Island upside down. Could it be that besides the Whitebeard pirates, there are forces that we don't know are interfering? The cadres of the new Murloc pirates all frowned and pondered. Ha 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 ha. So what if it's exposed? How much power does the Poseidon army have left after dealing with the pirate riot? A weird smile appeared on Haughty Jones' face. Neptune, the three princes, sip ha 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 ha, good time, good time. If the royal family is wiped out here, the Fishman Island will be our world. Haughty Jones opened his arms, with a cruel arc on his face, laughing wantonly. He casually grabbed a few pills from the jar beside him, stuffed them into his mouth, and swallowed them down. Haughty curled up and let out a low growl of pain. After a while, it returned to normal. At the same time, the muscles of his arms suddenly bulged, and the pupils of his dark eyes turned into scarlet at this moment. Little ones, go out to welcome guests. Haughty Jones grinned cruelly. Whoosh whoosh. There was a special vibration in the sea water. It was caused by a group of aquatic creatures quickly cutting through the sea water. King Neptune and the three princes, what is your business here today? I have quit the Poseidon army long ago. Advertisement. Haughty Jones, a former soldier of the Poseidon army, grinned, revealing a mouthful of ferocious fangs. Tickle, the bones of the Poseidon army, what will they taste like when you chew them? On the bottom of the sea, a frog-like cigar Dharma sharkman drilled out of the hard seabed, and laughed. Muhehehe, Body Dharma, the order from the boss hasn't been given yet, so let's be quiet for now. Carlos Dow, the king squid mermaid holding 8 red Sakura guns. Neptune rubbed the trident in his hand, his knuckles turned slightly white, and forced himself to suppress the fury in his heart. King Neptune, Shark Princes. The blue, fat figure swept across the deep sea at an extremely fast speed, and rushed to Murloc Street. The person who came was none other than the Fishman Island's #1 expert, Shichibukai Hexia Jinbei. Not long ago, after suppressing the rioting pirates in Waterwheel Town, Jinbei also learned a little bit about the incident through insinuation. I learned that this may have something to do with Huodi and his gang from Murloc Street. Immediately, Jinbei returned to Dragon Palace City immediately. I want to ask Neptune for good life. Let him go to Murloc Street to negotiate. However, when they arrived, they found out that Neptune and the three princes left the island with a mighty army of Poseidon. So Jinbei immediately caught up without stopping. Prince Sharkstar, King Neptune, let this old man negotiate with that guy Hody about this incident. Jinbei spoke solemnly. Boss Jinbei, we are here now, not because of the previous riots. The big prince, Sha Xing, looked solemn and young. Not for the riot. Jinbei was taken aback. What was that for? Did Hody do anything with that? An ominous premonition arose in Jinbei's heart. Advertisement chapter 253 S Poison. Jin is angry. Howdy swells. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Hody, UB ******** D, what have you been doing besides planning the previous riot attack? Jinbei yelled angrily. Boss Jinbei, what you said really hurts feelings. I have already hid in this dark place, what else can I do? I'm also curious about what our Lord King wants to do in this small place like mine. Haughty Jones sneered. Jinbei, you step back first, I just want to ask Haughty Jones about something today. Neptune stared at Haughty Jones with red eyes. 8 years ago, who fired that shot at Geelong Cowd Square? Was it the human being who did it, or did you do it for some purpose? Answer me, Howdy. Okay. Haughty Jones raised his eyebrows in surprise. Never expected. Neptune and his party even mentioned this matter when they came here. Could it be that what happened 8 years ago was exposed? But why? Who else knows about this? After a moment of silence, the corner of Haughty Jones' mouth raised a weirdo 50 arc. Ha 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 ha, it looks like you've been exposed. But I'm really curious, who told you this news? I wonder if King Neptune can tell, so that I can chop him up. Haughty Jones said with a smile, but there was a biting chill as cold as winter in his smile. Haughty, you be ********* D, how dare you kill Otome? Did Otome do anything to you? Make you insist on killing her? Advertisement. Neptune's eyes were red, furious to the extreme. Haughty, you really killed Princess Otahime. At this moment, Jinbei, who learned the truth, couldn't help shouting, and could no longer contain the rage in his heart. Ha 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 ha, Otahime is just an idiot who yearns for peace and beauty, but wants to live in peace with humans. Don't laugh at my big teeth. A woman like her is a traitor to our CJFA Murlocs. That's what a traitor should be. Howdy Jones laughed wantonly. Hody Jones, I want to kill you, as a husband, to avenge Otahime. Neptune's eyes were as red as blood, and his breath became thick and long. Ha 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 ha, try it if you can, Neptune. Hody Jones threw back his head and laughed. Kaka, it looks like a battle is about to break out today. The Damo Murloc showed a cruel smile. Captain Hody, let them see the power of our new Murloc pirates. Toth, the hammerhead shark, tosses a bag of killer capsules to Hody. Huodi took it, together with the bag outside. He stuffed all the red capsules into his mouth at once, and chewed them. Boom. There seemed to be a dull sound like the beating of war drums coming from Hody Jones' body. In the blink of an eye, Hody Jones' body size expanded more than a circle. The muscles on his arms and thighs are layer upon layer, like a horned dragon. Every gesture exudes a sense of terrifying power. That medicine is evil medicine. Advertisement. The right minister of the hippocampus suddenly screamed, and recognized the red capsule that Huodi had eaten. That is their national treasure, medicine that has been passed down from generation to generation and sealed in jade hand boxes. Taking this kind of evil medicine can gain several times or even dozens of times the terrorist power in a short period of time. A sneer echoed in the deep sea, colder than the 10,000-meter deep sea and the cold wind in December, as if it wanted to freeze people's hearts. This kind of poison cannot be used unless it comes to the moment when the Fishman Island really lives and dies. But the price is equally great, and it consumes the vitality of the user. However, a few years ago, there was a theft case in Dragon Palace City, and what was stolen was the murderous medicine in the jade box. Hody Jones laughed with his bloodshot eyes open. Minister Zuyu angrily scolded. Another powerful breath suddenly spread. Neptune, since you took the initiative to deliver it to your door today, we will not be polite. Ha 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 ha. A group of old things in the kingdom, what do you know? There is such a good thing that you don't use it. If all our soldiers are provided with this kind of medicine, why should humans be afraid? What about Marine Admiral? What about the Emperor of the Sea? How could it be our opponent? Sure enough, that's what you did, Huodi. You even stole the evil medicine from the jade box. Do you know what you're doing? A frog at the bottom of a well dares to talk about the Emperor of the Sea. The terrifying breath spread out. Neptune, can you help me? He. Arrogant little shark, the Emperor of the Sea is nothing more than that. Our Marine's Admiral is not something you can touch. All of you are going to die here today, and the Fishman Island in the future can be safely handed over to our new Murloc pirates. Followed by a third burst of powerful energy. Thousands of meters in the deep sea, solidified for it. Advertisement Chapter 254 The world's strongest brings fear to the Murlocs. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. 10,000 meters deep sea. A small shark in a red sweater is swaying. Cut through the deep sea and come to this battlefield. It immediately attracted everyone's attention. There is no other reason. Just because the visitor on the shark's back is too conspicuous. Mermaid Princess. Hody Jones's bloodshot eyes locked on Shirahoshi, a 16-meter level mermaid, for the first time. Immediately, he shook his head violently again. The extremely sarcastic words to him earlier were beyond what the mere little mermaid princess could say. Hody Jones glanced wildly. Next second, his eyes locked on the top of the head of the little shark Makaro, the sitting man. That man is. How is it possible? Why did this monster appear here? Hody Jones' pupils constricted suddenly, and he screamed. The image of the person I saw in front of me coincided with the image of the person who had a big event on the top a few months ago. It evoked the deepest fear in Hody Jones' heart. Arrogance has always been one of his characteristics. Because of his arrogance, he dared to say Admiral, the Emperor of the Sea. However, even if he is as arrogant as Hody Jones, he is just talking about it. As someone who really faces the Sea Emperor level, Hody Jones has nothing but fear in his heart. That's how it was when Whitebeard borrowed the Fishman Island coating a few months ago. Advertisement. It still is. Even worse than Whitebeard's time. After all, the one who appeared in front of him this time was the king who surpassed the Emperor of the Sea. It's not just Hody Jones. With the light of the deep-sea luminescent creatures. The other Murloc pirates also saw and recognized Chi Yu. That person, that human being could it be that person in the newspaper? There is nothing wrong, is it really that monster? Why did he appear? It's over, we are over. The strongest monster in the world. Why does such an existence appear here? To be an enemy of such an existence, we are doomed. He is the king of the sea above the Emperor of the Sea. At this moment, the entire new Murloc pirates screamed in shock. The emotion called fear instantly dominated their whole body and mind, making them feel like falling into an ice house for 10,000 years. The false morale that was originally stimulated by the evil medicine dissipated. All of them were downcast, their hands and feet were cold, and they had no intention of fighting. The dead silence and despair were broken by a tooth-piercing crackling sound. Under the solid sea floor, there are gopher-like creatures constantly moving around. Looking at the approaching underground passage on the bottom of the sea, the shark Mekaro writhed uncomfortably, instinctively sensing that the crisis was approaching. Kaka. The dark sea floor cracked and cracked. A terrifying frog with its iron mouth open, bit like a cannonball towards Shirahoshi on Mekaro's back. The crimson eyes were full of madness and cruelty. Don't want. Run. Advertisement. The cadres of the Murlocs, such as the Wob Shark and the King Squid, yelled in horror. Why? The moment he saw Shirahoshi, Daruma, who sneaked into the ground to plan an attack, was puzzled. But right now there is no time for him to think about it. The mermaid princess with delicate skin and tender flesh is right in front of my eyes, how can I let it go? Mr. Frog, please don't. Ever since. Frog, Bodhidharma suddenly froze as he culled and moved forward. Damn, who are you? Let me go. However, the sudden big hand, like the strongest iron tongs in the world, remained motionless. You are. Shirahoshi winced and closed his eyes, tears flickering in the corners of his eyes. Dharma struggled violently. Click. Gaga. I got it, the mermaid princesses. He bit down on the firm hand like a vice mercilessly. A big hand suddenly protruded from the slanting stab, pinching his neck impartially. He jerked his head down, baring his sharp teeth. Crackling. Just when the frog, Murloc Dharma thought he had succeeded. Damn it, how dare you treat my uncle like this, see if I don't bite your hand into pieces. Under the effect of this unexpected situation, the cold and crazy Dalmo calmed down a little. Bodhidharma, the leader of the Murloc pirates, let out a roar. The teeth that Bodhidharma was proud of, which could bite through anything, actually shattered at this moment. Advertisement Chapter 255 One Piece and the Hero. The speed of light slaps Hody in the face. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. You are. Frog Dharma suddenly widened his eyes. He finally remembered the identity of this man who made him shudder. The emotion called fear instantly dominated his whole body and mind. He couldn't even utter a complete sentence. Next second. There was only a crisp sound of click. Frog. Bodhidharma's eyes were distracted. His neck was completely broken by Chi Yu. His weak body fell like a broken rag into the ruins of Murloc Street. The audience fell into dead silence again. Not long. The arrogant, 583, little shark is nothing more than the emperor of the sea, our marine's admiral is not something you can touch. Neptune, do you need help? Two majestic and vigorous voices came one after another from the dark deep sea not far away. A lobster and a crab rushed to the battlefield on Murloc Street. The pilots above the shrimp soldiers and crab generals are indeed the One Piece Roger and the marine hero Garp. Those two people, are human monsters again. One Piece and marine heroes are coming. It's strange, the monster has appeared again. No. Facing these monsters, we don't have the slightest chance of winning. Under the impact of Roger and Garp coming together. The fighting spirit of the Murlocs in the new Murloc pirate group was completely extinguished. All that was left was deep fear and despair. Advertisement. Captain Howdy, surrender, face those monsters, we. Puff. Blood stained the deep sea. The Murloc didn't finish his sentence. Hody Jones' fist passed through his head, blowing it up on the spot. Kaka. The tooth-piercing crunching sound reappeared. Captain Hody, looking at Hody Jones who swallowed the poison once again. Everyone in the new Murloc pirates showed horror and retreated again and again. Hody Jones was the only one left on the spot, still burying his head and gulping down the poison at the cost of overdrafting his life. I need more, it's not enough, I want to be stronger and stronger. Hody Jones murmured as if he lost his mind. He firmly believes that he is the strongest in the Murloc water. At this moment, facing Chi Yu, Roger and Garp, all he feels is darkness and the deep abyss of despair. He is not reconciled. Hody raised his head and roared like a beast, and his whole body swelled again and again. After a long time, Hody grinned, feeling the power surging in his body, and his self-confidence surged. Ha, now I am invincible. Howdy Jones shouted arrogantly. While strengthening his body, the murderous medicine also strengthened his self-esteem by the way. The strongest of human beings, it's really great, the sea is our Murloc's home field, even if you were a dragon here, you have to coil for me. Hody Jones smiled arrogantly. Taking you out here today will be the first step for our new Murloc pirates to dominate the world. Hee. The corner of Chi Yu's mouth curved slightly in a mocking arc. Advertisement. Ahahaha. One Piece Roger laughed. PFF ha. Marine hero Garp also laughed. Others, Jinbei, Neptune, Prince Sharkstar and even the members of the new Murloc pirates. One by one couldn't help laughing out loud. Looking at Howdy Jones' eyes, it was like a clown singing a one-man show on the stage. A****. You are all going to die. Howdy Jones yelled angrily. Hody Jones, your opponent is me. Neptune, the great sea knight, waved the golden trident, and Ba Lai made a move. Swish. In the dark seawater, a vacuum waterway appeared. That is the phenomenon caused by Hody moving at a speed invisible to the naked eye. When Neptune's golden trident collided with Hody Jones. Accompanied by the sound of gold and iron clashing, Hody Jones, who had disappeared, appeared and took a step back. On the other hand, Neptune retreated more than tens of meters under the impact of Hody Jones' soaring strength. Ha. What kind of great knight of the sea is really vulnerable? 0.7. Hody Jones laughed proudly. Huod, you are really hopeless, and now, I will not persuade you anymore. Jinbei forced himself to suppress his anger, and drank in a low voice. Step forward with your right foot, sink your waist, and prepare for a fighting posture. Hey, next is Boss Jinbei. Everyone says you are the #1 master of the Fishman Island, but that is because they are too ignorant, they don't even know how powerful the evil medicine is. Now I am the real #1 Murloc master, even you will definitely win. Advertisement Chapter 256, The No. One Murloc Master. It's all over. Open black lens bracket, subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Even if it's Jinbei, you definitely can't win. Hody Jones was slapped in the face by the speed of light before he finished speaking. Murloc Karate, 10,000 tiles, right fist. Jinbei let out a low growl. A terrifying spiral impact rushed out from its fist. Before Hody Jones even realized it, he was sent flying across the board. The eyes are bulging, the mouth is wide open, and blood is sprayed. The power obtained by relying on external objects is all imaginary. Have you forgotten the true meaning of Murloc Karate? Hody. Jinbei raised his eyebrows coldly and scolded angrily. Cough cough. Hody Jones crawled out from the underwater ruins, coughing out a few mouthfuls of blood in pain. There is no difference between hypocrisy and truth in strength. I will be injured by you, but I am not strong enough. 29 inches. I want to be stronger, more and more power. Quote. Hody Jones seemed to be in a state of madness, and under the horrified eyes of his subordinate Murlocs, he kept swallowing the starfish's poison. Boom. With Hody Jones as the center, the seawater rippled in a circle. His originally pitch-black short hair grew to his waist in an instant, and then quickly turned gray, like an old man in his twilight years. His stature doubled in an instant, and the muscles all over his body beat and bulged like a living thing. Go to hell, Shui Shin, the group of sharks. Hody Jones, who was in a state of extreme excitement under the stimulation of the murderous drug, waved his hands violently. In an instant, countless ferocious sharks made of seawater attacked indiscriminately in all directions. Not only the Poseidon army, but even the subordinates of the new Murloc pirates are within his attack range. He has completely lost his mind and turned into a beast that only knows how to kill. Chi Yu slashes, Garp shakes his fist, and Roger throws his sword. In an instant, all saltwater sharks fell apart and ceased to exist. Your Excellency Chi Yu, Roger, Vice Admiral Garp, there is no need to bother here, please leave it to us to handle it ourselves. King Neptune spoke solemnly, heard the words, advertisement. Chi Yu, Roger, and Garp all nodded and did not intervene in the Murloc's internal problems. Jinbei boss. The great Prince Shaxing looked at Jinbei. Leave that B asterisk 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 D, Hody, to me. Jinbei took a deep breath, his gaze gradually firmed up. He crossed his arms. A powerful jet black armor color covers it. Even if Huodi is the younger generation he watched grow up. Today's Jinbei will no longer have the slightest hold back. Ha 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 ha. Jinbei, go to hell. Hody Jones charged Jinbei bravely. The mystery of Murloc Karate, Guiwa Zhengchen. Boom. Jinbei's right, covered in powerful armament hockey, landed right in Hody Jones' face. Just for a moment, Kaka, Hody Jones suffered a fractured facial bone. The whole face is distorted, dented, deformed. Only one hit. Hody Jones, who swallowed a lot of poisonous medicine and overdrawn his strength, was defeated. Hexia Jinbei's name as the #1 Murloc master is well deserved. By contrast, Hody Jones, who gained strength from drugs, is a paper tiger, vulnerable. It's all settled. All members of the new Murloc pirates who lost their leader were arrested. What awaits them will be an endless prison. Go away. Slip away. Advertisement. Both Roger and Garp lost interest. Riding the shrimp soldiers and crabs will return to the main island of the Murlocs. Chi Yu hasn't left yet. Your Excellency Chi Yu, I am really grateful for helping my daughter Shirahoshi earlier. King Neptune thanks. Never mind, Neptune. Actually, I brought Shirahoshi here this time to say goodbye to you. Chi Yu said. Farewell. Neptune was taken aback. Father, Lord Chi Yu said that 620 will take me to solve the matter of Lord Fandadakan. Take Chi Yu and Shirahoshi straight to the unknown Dark Sea. Shark Star, Dragon Star, Crash Star, and the three princes let go of their hanging hearts. Chi Yu said. What? Shirahoshi nodded obediently. I can't ask for more. So this is all. Then, off we go. Shaw, go, Shirahoshi, remember to be obedient on the way, and listen to your Excellency Chi Yu. Okay. Chi Yu patted the little shark Makaro. Neptune promised. Shirahoshi said weakly. By the way, Gion, Robin and the others, I will trouble King Neptune to make arrangements during this time. Neptune asked. Makaro shark tail wagging. Don't worry, we will entertain everyone with the highest etiquette. Advertisement Chapter 257 The King Who Rules the Deep Sea. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. 10,000 meters deep sea. It was dark and quiet. There was no light around. I can't see my fingers. In this vast deep sea, it is very difficult to find an old silver coin that is hidden. Even if all 5 million people from the Fishman Island are sent out, it may not be possible to find them. But the most people in this sea have never been Murlocs. It is the marine life that dominates the deep sea. To find Vanderdaken, it depends on the strength of the Sea Kings. Master Chi Yu, what should I do? Obviously, I have done what Master Chi Yu said, but it seems that it is not working at all. I must be stupid. Shirahoshi lowered his head, weeping. Don't cry, Shirahoshi, it's okay to take your time. Chi Yu smiled comfortingly, but it didn't have much effect. The crybaby mermaid Shirahoshi always cries when she says she cries. Feel the tears falling with fragrance. Chi Yu grinned, not knowing how to comfort her for a while. He knows Shirahoshi's tears at this time. Not just because he didn't live up to his expectations. It is also because of the unknown life of leaving home alone, leaving the Fishman Island, and wandering in the vast dark deep sea. For the timid Shirahoshi, it was the first time she had been away from the Fishman Island for more than a day. There will inevitably be anxiety and fear in my heart. For a long time, the mermaid princess finally stopped crying. I'm sorry, Master Chi Yu, I'm so useless. Obviously Lord Chi Yu is here to solve my problem. Advertisement. Shirahoshi apologized weakly. Don't underestimate yourself, Shirahoshi, you have unlimited potential, you are the king of the deep sea. Chi Yu spoke seriously. No, a coward like me. Shirahoshi stopped abruptly mid-sentence. Master Chi Yu, it seems that something is coming. Shirahoshi spoke uncertainly. That is the most powerful proof that you are king. Shirahoshi, you have succeeded. Chi Yu smiled slightly and nodded affirmatively. I succeeded. Shirahoshi tilted his head in confusion, suddenly cute. Clatter. The deep sea suddenly gave birth to a huge wave. The sea water ripples visible to the naked eye quickly swept past from far to near, bringing up a turbulent sea current and tide, coming from far and near. The sea was violently turbulent. A white dragon, of unknown length brushed past Chi Yu and Shirahoshi. Then it turned a corner and finally showed its real body. This is a pure white sea snake with a body length of 5,000 meters. After the white sea snake, one after another super large sea kings of the 5,000 meter level gathered from all directions. After the super large size, countless sea kings ranging from hundreds of meters to kilometers converged into a torrent. If someone could see this scene, they would definitely faint on the spot. After all, this is truly powerful enough to destroy the world. Even the Sea Emperor level pirate group has absolutely no choice but to perish in front of such a huge sea kings. Master Chi Yu, what is going on? Why is everyone looking at me like that? Surrounded by the sea kings, Shirahoshi hugged Chi Yu in front of him in fear, and spoke weakly. Don't be afraid, Shirahoshi, you are the one who summoned all of these. Chi Yu encouraged with a smile. Did I call you? Shirahoshi had a bewildered expression on his pretty face. Advertisement. That's the princess. Our mermaid princess. We finally meet. By the way, who is that human next to the princess? Could it be that B********** D Joey Poe? No, Joey Bowie is a titan. The super large sea kings spoke one after another. Well, that human is fine no matter what. Everyone, let's say hello to the princess together. The 5,000 meter level big black snake greeted. I've been waiting for a long time. Super-sized sea kings, covered in black and white stripes like Madara horses, responded. I cannot wait anymore. The 5,000 meter deep sea frog rubbed its palms. Ah, is it time for dinner? The stupid purple-haired penguin stepped forward foolishly. Then there is a special creature with 100-meter long fangs and scales like peacock feathers, and a huge flatfish with a radius of 1,000 meters. More than a dozen super-large sea kings overlords Wang Lihao moved together. Instantly, the sea water seemed to be boiling. Princess. Master Mermaid Princess, I finally see you again, my Lord Princess. It's been 800 years. We have always kept our agreement with you. The sea kings opened their mouths to express their joy. Shirahoshi tilted his head in a daze, his face full of cuteness and puzzlement. Come, Shirahoshi, say hello to your people. Chi Yu spoke quietly. Shirahoshi nodded blankly. Big, hello everyone. Oh. Deep sea boiling. Advertisement chapter 258 I found, you, open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. 10,000 meters deep sea. The sea kings are assembled. Congratulations to the king and queen of the deep sea. This scene is amazing. It wasn't just Shirahoshi's Poseidon status that brought about this unprecedented and spectacular gathering. It all started with the sea kings that Chi Yu fished yesterday. Under the control of the power of the passive 7 beastmasters. That original sea kings became Chi Yu's messenger. Traveling around to deliver Poseidon Shirahoshi's orders. After a day of fermentation. In the end, this spectacular spectacle was created. Go, sea kings, and help your princess cut off all potential dangers. Chi Yu waved his hand to order. Oh. Part of the sea king's positive should drink. Really 140, why should a human give orders? Yeah, we don't listen to humans. The oversized sea kings muttered to themselves. Everyone, please. Shirahoshi bowed and begged. Princess. No need to do so. Since it's the princess's order, there's nothing I can do about it. Brothers, get ready for action. Find that B********* D who threatened the princess as soon as possible. A group of super large sea kings brought small and medium-sized sea kings into action. Advertisement. Spread out in all directions, looking for the location of Vanda Dakan Ix. Under the carpet search of the owners of the deep sea. Just less than half a day. The location of Vander Dakan Ix, the deep sea mouse. A deep sea volcanic area where you can't reach your fingers. A little light flickered. It was a large lanternfish. Pulling a dilapidated old sailing boat aimlessly. A bald sea monster with a simple face and a bald head 100 meters away faltered, holding a small leather whip to drive away the lanternfish that pulled the boat. Hey, a new day has begun. At a certain moment, on the dilapidated sailboat, an ugly four-legged murloc woke up from his sleep, raised his arms high, and laughed wantonly. Captain Vander Dakan, where are we going today? Me and Jinjian, the bald sea monster, asked with a silly face. Hehehehe, I can't go to the Fishman Island anyway. I didn't expect that such a small the Fishman Island would gather so many strong men from the sea. That guy who OD is really unlucky. Ha 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 ha. Vander Daken X laughed. He also learned about the changes in the Fishman Island in recent days through some channels. Is the king of the sea really that scary? The bald sea monster Mitsumi asked. CJDD, hehehehe, that is a real monster, it will only be more terrifying than you imagined. Vanda Daken smiled, and the expression on his face suddenly darkened. From the information he got, he also learned a bad news for him. That is the human overlord who came to the Fishman Island this time and took away the mermaid princess Shirahoshi. How can such a thing be allowed? You must know that he was the future wife of Shirahoshi as early as 8 years ago. The power that resides in Shirahoshi, I will not give it up to anyone. Advertisement. Only I am worthy to wield the power of Shirahoshi. If I can't get it, I'll be destroyed. Vanda Daken X laughed wantonly and crazily. He took out a double-sided rose axe from the box beside him. Hehehehe, Shirahoshi, the axe of love that is still practiced today. Bring my love to Shirahoshi. Vanda Daken X laughed again and threw the giant axe in the direction of the Fishman Island with the mark of the target fruit. Do it all. Vanda Daken just wanted to turn around and go back to the cabin to rest. However, at this time, abnormal regeneration. Crash. Suddenly, there was an unusual fluctuation in the sea water. Vanda Daken's body froze suddenly, and a cold sweat broke out from behind for no reason. It seemed to be stared at by something terrible. Captain Daken, I suddenly have an ominous premonition. It seems that something is coming. The bald sea monster Mitsumi spoke uncomfortably. Crash. The unusual surge of sea water intensified. Under the horrified eyes of Vander Daken and the bald sea monster. A huge black shadow flew from far to near. It's just a few breaths before and after. A huge mountain appeared in front of them. The cold light bloomed, it was the opened eyes of Sean. Advertisement Chapter 259 Shirahoshi. I already have someone I like. Open black lens bracket. Subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. A mountainous shadow loomed over Vander Daken X. The blood-red pupils opened, like golden lamps illuminating the deep sea. Just an eyeball is much bigger than a ship. It is enough to imagine how huge its body is. Hi. Sea kings. Vanda Daken widened his terrified eyes and yelled out in shock. With such huge creatures, there are only sea kings in this deep sea. This body type must be the overlord in sea kings. Why does the sea king's overlord appear here? Unusual. Absolutely unusual. However, Vanda Daken X has no time to think about the reasons. Quick, run. Vander Daken gave the order to run. Without the slightest hesitation. However, under the deterrence of the super large sea kings. Both the bald sea monster and the lanternfish driver were already paralyzed from fright. Can't move, just passively waiting for the trial. Next second, the disturbance in the seawater became more and more intense. The second, the third. Dozens of hundreds of large and small sea kings crowded the entire submarine volcano area. Surrounded the tattered sailboat and Vander Daken and his party. It seems that the scene of the end of the world appears. Did you really see a ghost today? This is a dream, I must be having a nightmare. Why are there so many sea kings here all of a sudden? Wake up, Vander Daken screamed with a pale face. Emotions called horror and fear have dominated his whole body and mind. Advertisement. He raised his hand and slapped himself across the face. Severe pain hit him, telling him that all this was not a dream. He is really surrounded by the army of sea kings. The rapid sound of breaking water came from behind him. Vander Daken, who was almost stiff all over, dodged aside with difficulty. Only then did he narrowly escape the spinning giant axe. That is, Vander Daken's pupils shrank suddenly. He already recognized that it was the giant rose axe he threw earlier. Next moment, the scene that made him more and more frightened took place. A super large sea snake with an unknown length came out of the crowd. Standing on the huge head is Shirahoshi, the mermaid princess he has always dreamed of, and a human being. Shirahoshi, is it really you? Shirahoshi, have you finally figured it out? Have you finally decided that you want to spend the rest of your life with me? Dominated by extreme panic, Van Daken unconsciously began to imagine. Sorry, Master Vander Daken, I came here this time to tell you. You are not my type, please stop pestering me. And I already have someone I like. Shirahoshi spoke weakly. The white slender hands held Chi-Yu tightly. This scene completely stimulated Fan Dadai's mind. His eyes were red with envy and jealousy. Under the strong jealousy, he was already unable to judge the current situation. All he can think about is getting Shirahoshi into his hands. Shirahoshi, you are my thing. Your power is only available to me. Vanda Daken's marked right hand quietly reached behind him, and took out 3 small knives. Ask for flowers. However, he did not wait for the slightest movement. There was a terrifying explosion. Blood splashed in the sea. Advertisement. Allah. The expression on Vander Daken's face was dull and frozen. He turned his head in a daze, looking at the broken right arm. After a good while, he finally realized what had happened. His arm was severed at the root with his own great rose axe. Boring clown. Chi-Yu jumped off the top of Sea Kings. Zero. A shrill scream burst out from Vanda Daken's mouth. Half of it was due to the pain of a broken arm. The other half is because he finally recognized who the human next to Shirahoshi was. That is the overlord of mankind. The king of the sea. Not so long ago he was laughing at Hody Jones. But I never thought about it. So soon, I have followed in Hody's footsteps. Reincarnate in the next life, remember to keep your eyes open, and don't covet what you shouldn't have. Chi Yu said indifferently. 1 foot down. Boom, boom. Vander Daken's scream stopped abruptly. His body, along with the tattered Flying Dutchman, exploded under Chi Yu's feet. Master Chi Yu. Shirahoshi pressed Chi Yu between the chasm in front of him gratefully. The teardrops formed a string and fell again. These are the tears of joy at the end of an 8-year nightmare. Okay, it's all right. Let's go back next time. Chi Yu comforted softly. Yes, Lord Chi Yu. Mountain. Advertisement Chapter 260 Shocking Event. New Marine Marshal Akainu. Open black lens bracket. Subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. The 3-day outing. Investigation is over. Chi Yu returns to the Fishman Island with Shirahoshi. After receiving the news, the high-level executives of the Fishman Island came to the border to welcome them immediately. Shirahoshi. Father, my lord. The father and daughter who hadn't seen each other for 3 days embraced each other affectionately. Then came the 3 famous mermaid princes Shark Star, Dragon Star, and Crash Star. Stepped forward one after another and disappeared with my sister. His Excellency Chi Yu. King Neptune looked at Chi Yu nervously. It's all over. Chi Yu spoke calmly. Thank you so much. Neptune, who got Chi Yu's affirmative answer, was so excited that he couldn't be more excited. The unhappiness that has accumulated in my heart for the past 8 years is all released to 823 at this moment. Very good. That's great. Shirahoshi, finally free from now on. Red Roller. The excitement of Shark Star, Dragon Star, and Crash Star was beyond words. Really, I don't know how to thank Your Excellency Chi Yu. Neptune was at a loss. Don't worry, it's just a matter of effort. Chi Yu waved his hand nonchalantly. Even though Chi Yu said so, Neptune would not really agree to it with such peace of mind. After all, Chi Yu spent 3 days traveling around for Shirahoshi this time. Although only 3 days, but considering Chi Yu's current identity and status. The weight of these 3 days is naturally extremely important. Your Excellency Chi Yu, if you can use the Fishman Island in the future, please let me know. We will definitely respond with all our strength. Neptune spoke decisively. Chi Yu nodded without refusal. Because there may still be a place where it is needed in the future. The power of Shirahoshi is needed. Leave time for Neptune and the Shirahoshi family. Chi Yu left straight away. 10 minutes later, Chi Yu came to Coral Hill. Here is the famous mermaid cafe on the Fishman Island. Advertisement. It is a place that foreign tourists must not miss. Of course, Chi Yu also wants to have a good experience. Only, jingle. The doorbell of the mermaid cafe rang lightly. Welcome, from person to person. A group of maid girls, big and small, came oncoming. Except for the mermaid girls I saw in Mermaid Bay last time. There are also a few. Khalifa, Koala, even Yamato. The corners of Chi Yu's eyes twitched. Never expected. In his absence, Khalifa and the others didn't play well, so they actually became maids here. Don't get me wrong, Lord Chi Yu, Khalifa will always be only Lord Chi Yu's secretary and maid. Khalifa moved lightly with lotus steps, and held her arm affectionately. Mr. Chi Yu, Mermaid Cafe has been closed for the past few days. Everyone is rehearsing hard, just to wait for Master Chi Yu to come. Koala explained. Mr. Chi Yu is still here. The large maid, Yamato, grinned. Quote. Where's Robin and Gion? Chi Yu asked. The words of Robin-san and Gion-san. Koala turned his head to look inside the cafe. Clatter. There was the crisp sound of high heels hitting the ground. Gion, also dressed as a black silk maid, came striding forward. Behind Gion is the black silk maid Robin and the owner of the coffee shop, Mrs. Shiarley. HMPH, don't get me wrong, I just had a sudden whim and wanted to try a different outfit. Didn't you dress up like this just for you? Gion snorted arrogantly, with a face full of duplicity. This dress is very suitable, I like it very much. Chi Yu nodded in satisfaction. Real. Gion's pretty face burst into joy. In the next second, he quickly corrected his face and continued to pretend to be cold. Advertisement. Yamato was the first to accidentally laugh out loud. Immediately afterwards, the huge mermaid cafe was filled with laughter and laughter. In the mermaid maid cafe that belongs exclusively to Chi Yu, various activities are coming one after another. 2 days of carnival. Morning of the 3rd day. Ace arrives hand in hand with Marco. Say goodbye to Chi Yu. Before leaving, Marco informs Chi Yu of their Whitebeard pirates' secret operations. This time after the two of them go back, the Whitebeard pirates will be targeting Wanokuni. Say it. Marco said goodbye. Ace also left after agreeing to say goodbye to New World with Sabo. As for Garp and Roger, as early as 4 days ago, I had been chasing and slapping, floating up to New World in a coated pirate boat. But for Chi Yu, this trip to the Fishman Island has just begun. A week later, traveled all over the Fishman Island. Okay, after enjoying all the customs, flocks of newspaper birds flitted overhead. After several hours, brought big news enough to shock the world. Chi Yu is also preparing to leave. Next second. Don't wait for the girls to feel emotional. Shirahoshi, next time when the situation above is stable, we will pick you up to play on land. 2 coated boats floated up one after the other. The new marine is confirmed. Shirahoshi reluctantly waved goodbye to 5.0. 2 openings opened in the Sea of New World. Martial Marine, Akainu Sakazuki. Yamato exclaimed. Master Chi Yu, and elder sisters, have a good journey. Shirahoshi nodded heavily, in the farewell eyes of Shirahoshi, Neptune and others. Advertisement Chapter 261 Admiral Decisive Battle Around the Marshal. Kuzan has a broken leg. Open black lens bracket. Subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Countless newspaper delivery birds flock together. Fly across the sea and bring today's shocking event to the world. The new marine is confirmed. How come? On the deck of Sheep Meili, Gion's shocking voice rang out. Sakazuki is the new marshal. Mr. Sengoku and Mrs. Suru all support Kuzan as the marshal. What the hell is going on here? Has Kuzan flinched? Watch the big change of field news from naval headquarters. Gion couldn't help but be full of doubts and incomprehensions. Long before she left naval headquarters months ago, Gion learned of Sengoku's resignation from Vice Admiral Suruguchi. And the next marshal, most likely it will be Admiral Kuzan. Be it Marshal Sengoku or Vice Admiral Crane, or Hero Garp. All 3 naval headquarters veteran legends 29 back this up. According to common sense, backed by the 3 legends of Sengoku, Crane and Garp, Admiral Kuzan's position as marshal is almost certain. There can't be a mistake. However, what is reported now is the news that Admiral Akainu has become the new marshal. What about Admiral Kuzan? In the newspaper, it does not occupy even a little space. This is absolutely unusual. There must have been a huge change that she didn't know about in the middle. About the accident itself. Perhaps it has been forcibly suppressed by the world government. That's why it didn't appear on the news. Chi Yu. Gion looked at Chi Yu, who was resting leisurely on the recliner. It's useless to look at me, I've been with you all the time, I don't know. Chi Yu spread out his hands. Advertisement. Pretend like you don't know anything. But actually, of course Chi Yu knew about it. Impossible to forget. The competition for the position of Marine Marshal is fierce. Admiral Kuzan was recommended to be Marshal by the 3 legends of Marine. It was originally very stable. But the other side. The world government does not want the doves on Garp Sengoku's side to continue to be in power. So 5 elders, the highest authority in the world government, recommended Admiral Akainu. This created a rivalry between the 2 Marine admirals. The always lazy Admiral Kuzan. In this battle of marshals, it was a rare strength. I don't want to. The other side. Naturally, Admiral Akainu will not hand over the power of Marine to others. An unprecedented battle between admirals began. The time was about half a month ago. The location is Punk Hazard, a secret research island in New World owned by the world government. Ice and fire. The 2 admirals fought to the death for 10 days. After World War I, Admiral Aokiji broke his leg, lost, and quit Kaiway. Admiral Akainu returned to the headquarters as a winner and succeeded the marshal. Of course, about the infighting between admirals. Naturally, Marine and world government will not advertise it widely and make it public. After all, this is not something glorious. Just came through the naval headquarters debacle. Now there is another fight between the admirals. There was even an admiral who called it quits after losing. If it is announced, it will be another blow to the already shaky Marine prestige. Advertisement. Sister Gion, don't be in a hurry, why don't you just make a phone call and go back and ask, then you'll know. Koala reminded. Exactly. Gion nodded in amazement. She hurried back to her room immediately. Take out the phone bug that hasn't been dialed for a long time. Blue, 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 blue. For a long time. The phone bug connects. Kuzan lost. Before Gion could say anything, on the other end of the phone, Vice Admiral, Marine's General Staff, spoke first. The purpose of Gion's call is very clear. Sister what happened? Gion was secretly anxious. Vice Admiral Crane has no intention of hiding. 560. Deng even told Gion about the 10-day duel between Admiral Akainu and Admiral Aokiji. Kuzan and Sakazuki. How come? So who is Kuzan now? Is he still alive? Gion asked. I don't know. After losing to Sakazuki, Kuzan explained his withdrawal to Sakazuki, and then disappeared without a trace. We have not yet grasped his whereabouts. Vice Admiral Crane wrote. How could that guy, Kuzan, give up so easily? This kind of thing, I must ask him face to face. Gion gritted his silver teeth lightly. Let's go, Gion. Vice Admiral Crane nodded in support. Gaga. The phone bug hung up immediately. Gion looked at Chi Yu with big beautiful eyes. Then go and see, Punk Hazard. By the time we arrive, it will probably be too late. Chi Yu smiled slightly. Advertisement Chapter 262, Ice and Fire Island. Meet Admiral Aokiji. Open black lens bracket. Subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. New World Punk Hazard. This is a secret research base belonging to the world government. 2 years ago, because of Mgai Sakurang's experiment, a large amount of poisonous gas was released on the island, and the whole island became a dead island. The few prisoners who survived on the island also lost consciousness in their lower limbs due to poisoning. A year ago, Guy Sakurang came to this island after escaping from the prison ship. He used his own scientific means to compress the highly toxic substances on the island into a slime-like highly toxic gel object, named Smiley. Geisa, who successfully dispelled the poisonous gas, became the savior of the prisoners on the island who were suffering from poisonous gas. With the help of the convenient identity of Savior, Geisa once again began to use the prisoners on the island to carry out evil experiments again. Then it was half a month ago. Admiral Akainu and Admiral Kuzan, the highest fighters in naval headquarters, launched a 10-day life and death confrontation here. The collision of Logia frozen fruit and Logia lava fruit completely changed the geography and climate of the island. This island has also become a special climate island because of Admiral's duel. Half of it is the freezing land of ice. The other half is the fiery land of flames. Ice and Fire Island. Punk hazard. Whoa, what the hell is going on? Looking at the special island with mixed ice and fire in the distance, Yamato couldn't help screaming in surprise. His eyes were shining, and his face was eager to try. Can't wait to go on an island adventure. Where is Punk hazard? Backquote. Gion's little head is full of little question marks. His face was full of incomprehension. Any questions? Both Robin and Khalifa looked at Gion suspiciously. In my impression, that island has never been like this. Gion shook his head puzzled. Advertisement. Before. As Marine Vice Admiral, she has also visited the island on missions. Deliver the necessary equipment for the scientific research of the genius scientist Vegapunk. After listening to Gion's description of the island, Robin, Khalifa, Koala and others couldn't help being extremely surprised. In other words, did this place become like this after the confrontation between the two admirals? Sabo stared and guessed the reason. The battle between the admirals caused changes in the terrain and climate. Is such a thing really possible? Khalifa's face was full of disbelief. It can be done. If Kuzan's freezing ability, it can indeed be done. Robin nodded firmly. Mr. Chi-Yu, where are we going to land next? Koala asked Chi-Yu for instructions. I'm going to ask Gion about that. Chi-Yu frowned slightly. Go to the land of ice. Gion pursed his lips. Although I know that I am probably late. Admiral Aokiji should have left long ago. But Gion still wants to confirm it with his own eyes. The two boats turned a corner. Finally, it docked near the land of ice. The cold came. The girls on the deck shivered suddenly. They all moved closer to Chi-Yu's side. With the power of the sun, Chi-Yu is like a natural furnace. Seeing that Chi-Yu's left and right are occupied by Khalifa and Robin, Yamato and Koala had to go to the room to get their cotton clothes and put them on. I'll take a look first. Advertisement. Gion greeted, and then impatiently stepped on the moonwalk and rushed towards the inland of the island. Yahoo! Yamato, a hot-blooded girl who was particularly persistent in adventure, landed on the ice next. Mr. Chi-Yu, I'm going to look around too, Yamato said. Go, but be careful not to go too far. Chi-Yu waved his hand. Oh, Yamato responded with a full mouth. Start the adventure happily with Koala and Sabo. So, Chi-Yu looked at Khalifa and Robin beside him. Whether it's going for a walk or going back to the room to do something I like, I can do it, money is good. Khalifa smiled sweetly. Then let's walk around. Chi-Yu landed with the two of them. Walk along the edge of the frozen land. If so, about half an hour later. What? Chi-Yu frowned slightly. His observation hockey seems to have captured something. What's wrong? Robin asked. Chi-Yu didn't say anything, just stepped straight up. After a few minutes, he came to a snow mountain cave. A faint smell of blood came from the cave. Admiral Aokiji. Robin whispered and covered his mouth. Advertisement Chapter 263 Admiral Aokiji joins the occupation. Open black lens bracket. Subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. The wind was mixed with snow. In the caves of the extremely cold and icy land, a seriously injured man covered in blood was sitting helplessly on the wall of ice. The dark red blood penetrated into the ice layer, making the ground of the ice appear a faint blood color. Admiral Aokiji. Robin also recognized the identity of the person hiding here to heal and recuperate silently. It was the nightmare figure who had saved her and haunted her for 20 years, Marine Admiral Aokiji Kuzan. What a serious injury. Khalifa's complexion also changed. Shocked by Admiral Aokiji's injuries. If you change to an ordinary person, I'm afraid it's too cold for a long time. Thanks to the fact that it is an admiral-level monster. In order to persist until now, the injury is certainly serious. But there is no danger of life. Hey, isn't this Admiral Aokiji? I haven't seen you in a few months, why are you so late? 770 Chi-Yu joked. Ah la la, I didn't expect to be discovered by you. Looks like I'm done with it. Admiral Aokiji spoke weakly. If you want to do it, now is the best time. Aokiji closed his eyes resignedly. If I want to kill you, why take advantage of others' danger? Even in your heyday, I can suppress you at will. Chi-Yu spoke calmly and confidently. Apparently, there's probably nothing wrong with it. But, Robin, would you like to try? Chi-Yu smiled and looked at Robin. Hearing this, Robin's face froze. Stop joking, Mr. Chi-Yu, I'll get the first aid kit on the boat. Robin said and tugged Khalifa's little hand again. Advertisement. Khalifa understood. I'm going to CJBH. Talking. The two beautiful girls turned and left. Leave room for Admiral Aokiji and Chi-Yu. Well, let's talk. Chi-Yu sat cross-legged next to Admiral Aokiji. What do you want to talk about? Aokiji asked. You're out of the marine now. Since there is nowhere to go, would you like to come to my side? Okay. If you join in too, Gion's inner struggle will be a bit less. So that's the real reason you asked me to join. Aokiji complained. If not, Chi-Yu spread out his hands. Then I'll think about it. There was a long silence. Admiral Aokiji seemed to have made up his mind. Then, at the same time, Punk Hazard deep in the land of ice. Gion's sister. Koala happily waved to Gion who met by chance. Koala, why did you come here too? Gion asked. Actually, we found the precious beast, Snow Maiden, over there earlier and chased it all the way here, but we still couldn't catch up. Why? Yamato is not without regrets. Snow Maiden. Gion was taken aback. Just now, advertisement. Her observation hockey did capture a fleeting figure hiding in the snow. Hey, everyone, there seems to be a research institute in front of this place, do you want to go and have a look together? Sabo, who went to explore the way ahead of time, waved hello. Graduate school, why is there a research institute here? Koala and Yamato are puzzled. Nothing to be surprised about. This island used to be the research base of the world government. Presumably the lab survived the battle between Kuzan and Sakazuki. Gion nodded. Whoa, this is really interesting, I smell adventure. Yamato's eyes sparkled. You still have to be careful. There was a very serious poison gas leak here 2 years ago, and there may still be some leftovers. Gion reminded. Let's talk. Gion won't back down just yet. They've all come here. Naturally, there was no reason to turn around and leave. Maybe Admiral Aokiji, who was seriously injured, is recuperating in the research institute. Compared to the ice and snow outside, the environment in the research institute is much better. There are also various first aid supplies inside, which can come in handy. As long as you are not stupid, you will usually go to the research institute to rest. Gion thought so. Admiral Aokiji. Gion, are you polite? This moment, a research institute standing between the ice and snow. Hey, ran back in such a hurry, did you find something? State. The wretched man exuding a strong gas smell looked wretchedly at the green-haired woman in front of him. Someone is coming. Guy, hurry up and get your people to hide. Don Quixote family cadre, Logia snow fruit capable Monet said in a deep voice. Huh, come again. Advertisement chapter 264, The Origin of the Barbarians. Involving the 4 emperors. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Thunder 8 trigrams. Dragon claw fist. Boom. In the loud noise, the gate of the research base was opened with a big hole by Yamato's mace and Sabo's black dragon claw fist. Gion strode forward with long legs, leading the way. The pitch-black research institute was dead silent. Only the footsteps of the 4 of Gion echoed. Pat. Koala took out a high-powered flashlight from his treasure bag. The bright light of the flashlight illuminates the 4 directions. Wow. Koala's startled cry suddenly sounded. Sabo and Yamato were so frightened that they couldn't help but tremble. What happened? Yamato asked hastily. Don't make a fuss, Koala. Sabo shook his head. No, look over our heads. Koala shines the flashlight directly at the ceiling. Instantly, a hideous slap in the face came into people's eyes. That's a frozen titan. Is that a titan? Larger than the average titan. This is the ancient titans. Sabo couldn't help but widen his eyes in shock. Why is the titan frozen in ice? Koala was puzzled. There was still a little panic on the small face. Advertisement. After all, this scene is too scary. Look up. Titan's big eyes that almost protruded from their sockets just stared straight at them. This picture is naturally permeating. I'm afraid it's because of Kuzan's frozen fruit ability a few days ago. But the question is, where did these strange-looking titans come from? I've never heard of Punk Hazard and titans exist. Besides, since the accident 2 years ago, this place has been abandoned, so Kuzan and Sakazuki will fight here. Gion frowned. Bay teeth bit her thumb lightly. That. When everyone was puzzled, Yamato suddenly raised his hand weakly. What's wrong, Yamato? Asked Koala. I suddenly remembered, and it is still a possibility. It seems that these frozen titans are a bit similar to numbers. Yamato said. Barbarian, what is that? Sabo doesn't understand. An ancient titan force of 10 from the beast's pirates. Yamato said. Nani? Koala and Sabo stared wide-eyed. As this related to the beast's pirates, it actually involves the 4 emperors, who is the person in charge behind this. Definitely get him out. Gion spoke firmly. Originally, she came to this island to find Admiral Aokiji who might still be healing on the island. But now, her purpose is one more. Even on Chi-Yu's thief ship. Advertisement. The justice in Gion's heart remains the same. It is impossible to allow a secret agency related to the 4 emperors to continue to exist. Keep going. Asterisk TT. Gion stretched her long legs, and observation hockey spread out, sensing all the aura around her. Research base monitoring room. Damn. I can't die. Why is it that woman? The mad scientist Guy Sakulong yelled angrily. What happened to that woman? Monet, the Logia snow fruit ability user, asked. That woman is Marine Admiral candidate Momosugi Gion. Damn it, why is she here? It's not good. If it is discovered, it will be really bad this time. Guy yelled in panic. Then don't be discovered. Monet said. You said it lightly. My people have already retreated, but those children are not easy to transport. Guy's eyes widened. Then how about using the children as bait and taking them down in one fell swoop? Is this institute your territory? Monet suggested. Guy was taken aback. Hey, good, good. Let's do this. Guy laughed triumphantly. It seems that he is very confident about the plan to be implemented. Speaking of which, do you know where Lo is? Caesar. Snow Girl Monet suddenly asked. Shichibukai Trafalgar Law, didn't he offer to replace paralyzed people with moving limbs? I'm probably preparing the corresponding animal legs now. Advertisement Chapter 265 Shichibukai Trafalgar Law, show up. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. An empty research institute. The atmosphere was heavy and dead silent. The bold Guion 4 chose to split up at the fork in the road. After all, people with high skills are bold. Neither Guion nor Yamato, Sabo, or Koala are ordinary people. Although Koala's strength is the weakest, its detection ability is the strongest among them. This time, she was the first to discover something. Sister Guion, Yamato, Sabo, I have made a major discovery here, come here quickly. Koala, who split up, contacted everyone. 3 minutes later, according to Koala's instructions, the 580 Guion 3 people met. Koala, what did you find? Asked Yamato. This, you can see for yourself. Koala pushed the huge iron gate open. Jingle bell. What caught the eyes of the 3 people in Guion was a beautifully decorated children's room amusement park. Big, children ranging from infants to 7 or 8 years old are playing happily in the amusement park. There is actually a happy children's room in the gloomy and dead research institute. This in itself is an extremely abnormal event. What made Guion and others even more absurd and abnormal was that none of these children were ordinary children. Child, why are there children here? And it's so big, could it be a child of the Titan family? Guion, Sabo and Yamato lost their voices again. Sisters, are you here to save us? Advertisement. Several children who were older and bigger stepped forward weakly. Guion quickly cleaned up the expression on his face, and stepped forward kindly. Yes, boys, I'm Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral, and I'm all right. About why you are here, can you tell my sister in detail? Guion asked. The children looked at each other and nodded. In Guion, the 4 were ready to listen to the children's stories. Suddenly, chi. Purple hypnosis gas sprays pour in from all directions. The children covered by hypnosis gas fell unconscious instantly. No, this is hypnosis gas, don't breathe. With a reminder, Sabo quickly covered his mouth and nose. The passage we came from has been completely covered by hypnosis gas. Koala said anxiously. It seems that the other party came prepared. Sister Guion, what should I do you want to destroy it? Asked Yamato. No, there are a lot of children here, don't go to war. Guion categorically refused. Now they don't know the structure of this research institute. If one is not enough, the whole building will collapse. The trouble is really big. Of course they'll be fine. It's just the children who passed out in the hypnosis gas, even Guion didn't have the confidence to protect everyone. Just when Guion was at a loss. Advertisement. Room, slaughterhouse. Click. A certain wall in the children's room was suddenly cut open. The kids just fell asleep. Come here quickly. A muffled voice sounded from the gap in the wall. Guion, Yamato and the others looked at each other and nodded. 4 people filed in from the gap one after another. Room. The blue circle expands again. Next second. The cut hole in the wall instantly returned to its original state. Not a single trace of cutting can be seen. You are Shichibukai Trafalgar Law. Koala was the first to recognize the man in front of him. Exactly a month ago, with the help of the hearts of 100 pirates, the newcomer became Shichibukai's Trafalgar Law. Trafalgar, why are you here? Is it possible that this research institute is now occupied by you? Guion stared at Trafalgar Law uncomfortably. 3.5 for Shichibukai joining the world government. Guion never had a good impression. Be honest, Trafalgar Law, as Marine Vice Admiral, I have the right to choose whether to deprive you of your Shichibukai status based on your answer. Guion said in a low voice. Don't be in such a rush, Marine Vice Admiral. I'll tell you everything I know. Trafalgar Law raised his hands and honestly surrendered. Oh, advertisement chapter 266 involves 2 4 emperors, 1 Shichibukai open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Nani. Guy Sakurang. The culprit of the punk hazard accident 4 years ago, he returned to this institute to conduct illegal experiments. What? This research involves more than just 4 emperors. 4 emperors Big Mom Charlotte Linlin and 4 emperors Kaido of the Beasts. That guy is actually in contact with 2 4 emperors at the same time. The raw materials of artificial devil fruit smile are actually produced from here, transported to Deris Rosa and cultivated. Are the children over there a giant human experimental subject led by Big Mom? The semi-finished ancient titans are accepted by the Beast's pirates. How many secrets are hidden here? When I learned from Shichibukai Trafalgar Law about the various experiments conducted by this institute. Guion, Koala, Yamato, and Sabo were all completely stunned and then furious. It's unforgivable for Guy to spit on that B******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* learning about the inhumane experiments conducted by this research institute. After knowing what Guy Sakurang did, Gion could not remain indifferent. Miss Gion, what shall we do next? Yamato held the mace at his waist. Wait a moment, Shichibukai Trafalgar Law, how do you prove that everything you said is true? You will be here, knowing so many secrets, I have reason to suspect that you are also one of them. In that case, why tell us again? Sabo stared at Trafalgar Law without blinking. I'm just telling you the facts I've learned, whether you believe it or not is up to you to decide. As for my purpose, I have nothing to say. Trafalgar Law spoke calmly. Clang. The famous sword Jinpyra, shining in gold, landed on his shoulder, only an inch away from his neck. Trafalgar Law remained unmoved. Good moment. Advertisement. Gion put the knife back into its sheath and did nothing to him. I will give you an additional piece of advice. In addition to destroying the source of this research institute, it is best to deal with the dark intermediary in the underground world. Trafalgar Law said calmly. You mean Joker Doflamingo? Koala Road. Trafalgar Law was noncommittal. I see, your goal is Doflamingo, who is also a Shichibukai. What the hell is going on between you and Doflamingo? Gion guessed part of the truth. Trafalgar Law tilted his head. As for the grievances between him and Doflamingo, it is really higher than the sky and deeper than the sea. However, Trafalgar Law did not tell the whole story to the Gion for to gain sympathy. As long as it can guide Gion to Derice Rosa, weaken the Don Quixote family's strength. Then he shot again, giving Doflamingo the finishing blow. This was all his impromptu plan. This is his real purpose. If everything is as you say, Derice Rosa, I'll go for it. Gion said calmly. Mimo watched Trafalgar Law's expression without blinking. Guy Caesar is coming. Trafalgar Law silently turned his head to look at the wall. Open the walls. Gion did not pursue further. Trafalgar Law nodded. The demon knife ghost cried out. Room. Slaughterhouse. The Paramesh Op fruit ability activates. The 1 meter thick wall was cut open silently. The four of Gion looked at each other. Everyone held their breath and rushed into the room filled with hypnosis gas. Advertisement. Not found here. I don't have any here, what about there? Not found. The intruder seems to have disappeared. How can this kind of thing? The conversations of the people in gas masks and protective suits came to an abrupt end. This moment, the high-level monitoring room of the Research Institute. Dark scientist Guy Sakurang put his feet up on the monitoring platform, humming a little tune leisurely. Waiting for the subordinates to bring back good news. 587 inches CHH. It's almost time to capture. It's really difficult. A Marine Admiral candidate fell into my hands, how should I deal with it? Guy muttered to himself with a distressed face. Be careful in everything. The other party is a big shot in Marine, even if he is arrested, don't take it lightly. Logia Snow Fruit ability user Snow Maiden Monet reminded. I know. Guy waved his hand nonchalantly. Blah blah. At this time, there was a sudden sound of hurried footsteps in the corridor outside the door. It looks like the capture is complete. Guy nodded and was about to go out. Next second. Boom. There was a loud bang. The iron door of the monitoring room exploded. Huge fragments of the iron gate crushed Guy, who was caught off guard, and embedded them into the wall. Break up its body into a ball of gas. Guy scatter. Peach. Momosugi Vice Admiral. Advertisement Chapter 267 Dragon Claw Fist. Ming banished. Open black lens bracket. Subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Guy scatter. Gion's angry roar exploded in the Research Institute. Like thunder. Hey. Momosugi Vice Admiral. Marine. Momosugi Vice Admiral, shouldn't you? Looking at the Gion 4 who appeared in front of him intact. The dark scientist Guy couldn't help but widen his eyes in shock. The whole person is shocked and horrified to the point where it cannot be added. Guy, you be ********D, you don't even let the baby in the swaddle go, and you do such an outrageous thing, have you come to your senses? Gion stretched her long legs, her pretty face was as cold as frost, staring at Gaisa. No. Not, listen to my sophistry, no, listen to my explanation, Momosugi Vice Admiral, I can explain it. Guy backed away in shock, his eyes wide open, the eyeballs almost protruding from their sockets. He knows best about the strength of Marine's substitute admiral. Even though he is a Logia-capable user. But against the Marine heavyweights. Absolutely only be beaten violently. If you have anything to say, let's wait until the military court. Gion's eyebrows were like lightning, and he approached step by step with an unkind expression. Hateful. In that case, Guy Sakurang's eyeballs rolled around. His hands flicked abruptly. Several castanets flew towards Gion. Gas castanets, explode, drink. Guy Sakulong let out a violent shout. The gaseous gas previously stored in the castanets was detonated. Rumble. Advertisement. A terrible gas explosion occurred. The huge monitoring room was in a mess in an instant. Sparks flew from all kinds of electronic equipment. Countless explosion smoke rose up, covering Guy Sakurang's sight. I won't play with you anymore, my uncle will take a step first. Guy Sakurang laughed out loud. It is necessary to use the cover of the explosion to enter the secret passage and escape. Don't try to escape. Gion, who blocked the explosion with the famous sword Kinpira in his hand, tapped the ground with his toes and was about to pursue. Leave it to me, Gion-san. Sabo's voice came from the smoke. I don't know when. He has already rushed into the explosion first. Dragon Claw Fist. Boom. Boom boom boom. The huge research facility was shaken violently. The shock wave of terrifying power dispersed the explosion smoke in all directions. Wait until the smoke clears. The scene in it was revealed. Sabo's right hand is like a black dragon's claw, clasped on Guy Sakurang's face. Hit it hard on the ground. The ground, the walls, and countless fine cracks like spider webs. Ouch. Guy, who was hit head on by Sabo's dragon claw fist, vomited a mouthful of blood in pain. When he rolled his eyes, he was completely injured and passed out. You really deserve to be the second in command of the Revolutionary Army, the chief of staff. Guion frowned slightly. Advertisement. Although walking with Sabo for so many days. But this was the first time she saw Sabo make a move. Only this blow. It is enough to illustrate the strength of this young chief of staff. Definitely not under her admiral candidate. Miss Guion has won the prize. Sabo rubbed the back of his head in embarrassment. The other side. Murloc Karate, 3000 Wajang Fist. Koala, the revolutionary girl of Grandmaster Murloc Karate, delivered a powerful punch. Don't stand still, Koala, that woman is also Logia who can hide. Wu banished. Furthermore, she never thought of killing the girl in front of her on the spot. Next second. Hello, Wang Li. A terrible blizzard hit suddenly. Yamato's kind opening. Punch a big hole in the belly of Snow Maiden Monet. Could you please be a little more honest, Miss Snow Girl? Seeing this, Koala couldn't help being taken aback. On the nick of time, Yamato swung the mace and hit the grave with a thunderous blow. Leave a deep imprint on the ground. Then it further penetrated the wall mixed with steel plates. A pitch-black mace shot out of the sky. Sabo reminded. At the same time, the claws of the Snow Maiden came to Koala. A powerful shock wave passed between Koala and Snow Maiden Monet. Although her punch was not weak, it was far from being able to disembowel others. Koala came to his senses. Advertisement Chapter 268 Big Zongzi Iokiji. Guion. Stop pretending, Kuzan. Open black lens bracket. Subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Shores of Punk Hazard, Isle of Fire and Ice. 2 reclining chairs lined up. Hara Marine Admiral Iokiji, who was wrapped in a big rice dumpling, lay leisurely on his back in the sun while chatting with the Sea Emperor next to him. On the deck of the sheep boat, Robin and Khalifa were cooking mellow wine. Looking at the two on the coast, the shock on their pretty faces couldn't be suppressed. They never thought of it. Just go back to the boat to get the first aid kit. The former Marine Admiral Iokiji Kuzan became their partner. In fact, it is as unreal as the Arabian Nights. No one feels more deeply about this than Robin. After all, she has lived in the shadow of Admiral Iokiji since she was a child. Results now. Iokiji became a partner. He even called her Robin before, Big Sister Head. Although I know that most of the jokes in 617 mean it. But Robin still couldn't calm down. After a while, when Guion and the others come back, they will definitely be shocked when they think about it. Regarding this situation, Robin smiled and shook his head. Serve Chi-Yu with warm and mellow wine with Khalifa. As for Iokiji, a seriously injured patient, at this stage, he can only stare blankly and stare at him greedily. Another moment. It's almost time to come back. Chi-Yu nodded as if feeling something. Without waiting for Robin to ask Khalifa. Several figures appeared on the horizon in the distance. It was the returning Guion team of 4. And 2 captives. Dark scientist Guy Sakulang and Don Quixote Kadri Snow Maiden Monet. Advertisement. After handing over the comatose children to the care and protection of Trafalgar Law, the Guion 4 returned to the coast first. The next thing to do is to contact Marine. Send someone to pick up the children and resettle them properly. Not long. The Guion 4 returned to the coast. Mr. Chi-Yu, let me tell you, we discovered some incredible things on the island this time. Yamato was the first to step forward and kneel beside Chi-Yu. Start telling the events of their journey. Chi-Yu nodded. What Yamato told was the same as he knew. For the darkness hidden beneath this punk hazard. As a traverser, Chi-Yu knew it best. Now that it's all here, we still have to solve it after all. If the Guion 4 hadn't met, Chi-Yu herself finally planned to take a trip. Now that it has been resolved, it would be great. Compared to Chi-Yu's indifference, the original Admiral Iokiji on the reclining chair was not calm anymore. He never thought of it. This uninhabited island was chosen by him and Akainu as the battlefield. There is still such a secret hidden. Guy Sakurang, what audacity. This brutal human experiment was carried out under the noses of their 2 admirals. Not even the children are spared. Miss Guion, has the marine side already contacted you? Advertisement. Koala looked at Guion who walked out of the cabin, and hurriedly stepped forward to ask. Guion nodded. I have already notified Sister He. This time, Sister will take the initiative. Marine Chief Staff Officer Suru Vice Admiral, don't worry. Koala nodded. Beautiful eyes swept away. Koala found that his staff officer was squatting in front of the Zongzi, at the moment, looking at Admiral Iokiji who only had 2 eyes and 1 nose exposed all over his body without blinking. Sabo, what are you looking at? Koala asked suspiciously. By the way, who is this person? I don't know either, I'm trying to figure it out. Sabo shrugged. The beauty of Guion is also targeting the big rice dumpling Iokiji. She stepped forward with long legs. First, he looked at Chi-Yu. Did not get an answer. Dion snorted arrogantly, and didn't put down her body to ask coquettishly. A pair of beautiful eyes stared at Admiral Aokiji without blinking. Aokiji, who was a little flustered by Dion's staring stare, simply closed his eyes. Stop pretending, Kuzan, I know it's you. Dion spoke firmly. Already, the icy aura naturally emanating from Aokiji's body confirmed his identity. Alas, is he Admiral Aokiji? Koala yelled in surprise. Ahahaha, sure enough, Sabo nodded in amazement. Advertisement Chapter 269 Aokiji, did I threaten you? Open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Ah, then Admiral Aokiji. Koala's voice reverberated an octave above the shore. Ahahaha, sure enough, Sabo, who had expected it, smiled. Kuzan, why are you still on this island? Dion's wide and beautiful eyes are still staring at the big Zongzi, Aokiji without blinking. Ah la la, Aokiji Kuzan routine, ah la la. Why can't I be on this island? Look at me now, do I look like I can run far? Kuzan asked back with a wry smile. Since you need to recuperate, why didn't you go to the research institute? Dion asked. When I was in the institute before. Dion once thought about it. If Aokiji is still recuperating on this island, there is a high probability that the abandoned research institute will be chosen. Never thought about it. The opponent didn't play cards according to common sense at all. Since it was found by Chi Yu. In other words, Aokiji has been hiding in the ice and snow. Hey, Dion, what kind of eyes are you looking at? Could it be that you think I'm going to freeze to death? No matter how you say it, this is really too much. I am a Logia frozen fruit capable person. Aokiji Kuzan muttered in displeasure. Dion froze. I thought it was true. As a Logia frozen fruit capable person, Aokiji has a natural immunity to ice and snow. Advertisement. Even the colder the environment, the better for his recovery. How are you? Dion asked with concern, as the top marine of the same camp. Aokiji Kuzan is like a big brother in Dion. So after hearing about his accident, Dion will rush to look for it impatiently. It's okay, I can stand it. Admiral Aokiji said. Where are your feet? Dion was aware of Aokiji Kuzan's missing right leg. I don't know, maybe I forgot where it was. Aokiji Kuzan smiled nonchalantly. Robin, Khalifa, Sabo, Koala. From now on, you can recuperate with me for the time being. Let's go after the injury is healed. Dion spoke in an uncompromising tone. Wait a moment, Dion. Aokiji Kuzan interrupted. Well, do you have an opinion? Dion narrowed his eyes slightly. No, in fact, my nagging time may be longer. Aokiji Kuzan grinned. Okay. Dion raised an eyebrow puzzled. Miss Dion, in fact, earlier, Master Kuzan. Mr. Kuzan has decided to join Master Chi Yu's command. Khalifa explained. Advertisement. Nani, Dion, Sabo, Koala and others who heard the news for the first time were once again shocked beyond measure. Ask for flowers. It took just a while before and after. Chi Yu unexpectedly recruited another top fighter in the world. And it's Marine's Admiral. It's unbelievable. Joined by Admiral Aokiji. The unprecedented strength of the Great Sea Alliance centered on Chi Yu expanded once again. Are there already 5 or 6 emperors? Aokiji, did I threaten you before? Headline Warlord tone. Cemetery. The meaning in the eyes seems to be asking if you are intimidating, and Aokiji Kuzan, who was seriously injured, had to join. Aokiji Kuzan perfectly kicked the ball back to Dion. Kuzan, you joined so readily, you are here to be an undercover agent. Dion asked with wide eyes. It depends on you. If you are serious, then I am serious too. She thought of another possibility. Chi Yu clapped his hands and continued to bask in the sun. Dion, who was speechless, had no choice but to turn his head and look at Chi Yu, who was beside him. Kuzan, are you serious? No. Well, it seems that it is necessary to clarify. Aokiji Kuzan asked naturally. Chi Yu turned to look at Aokiji. Look, no. /. Advertisement Chapter 270 Vice Admiral Crane arrives. Doflamingo is furious. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Kuzan, how can a person like you just lose the position of marshal or give up justice and quit the Marine? Could it be that you quit Marine on purpose and are waiting for us here, trying to infiltrate us as an undercover agent? Dion May narrowed her eyes slightly, and said so. The voice fell. The huge coast is silent when it is exposed. Robin, who knew Aokiji's nature well, nodded in empathy. Khalifa and Koala are also skeptical. Aokiji Kuzan. After a long silence. Dion, when did I say I want, August 17th, to give up their own justice? Even if first quit Marine, I can still continue to enforce justice. Aokiji spoke quietly. Dion was taken aback for a moment, then nodded. Rational. Dion had heard Chi Yu say this before. Also, Dion, you seem to be quite used to it here, so sister he and I can feel at ease. Aokiji Kuzan pointedly said. Dion froze again, quickly. She just reacted. The words of his previous questioning of Aokiji. The we does not refer to Marine. It's the pirate camp that Chi Yu is in. She is already fully adapted and integrated. Even unconsciously, they will consider, worry about and eliminate hidden dangers for the pirate. Ah, no. Forget it, I won't tell you guys. Dion, who came back to his senses, stomped his feet angrily. hastily trotted back to the cabin. Hee hee. Chi Yu raised an arc on his face. Advertisement. The hard work these days was finally not in vain. Even if you say you hate it. But Gion's body and heart are already honestly integrated into this group. This is of course something to be happy about. As for the thing Gion brought up earlier about Aokiji undercover. Chi Yu didn't care at all from the beginning to the end. Asterisk 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 asterisk. I stayed in Bingwo Island for 2 days. The Marine warship, led by Vice Admiral Crane, the Marine Chief of Staff, arrived at Punk Hazard. As a great pirate, Chi Yu was naturally inconvenient to show up. In addition, the discoverer of this incident was originally Gion. Gion is also responsible for all handover work. After all the abducted children are properly arranged. A big stone in Gion's heart was also let go. Sister I plan to go to de Reese Rosa next. That Doflamingo you've been hunting, this time I want to investigate in detail. Look at what other unknown and inhuman things he is doing besides this. Gion spoke seriously. Then please. Vice Admiral Crane did not refuse. Previously because Doflamingo was Shichibukai. They Marine can't have any cross-line investigation on it. He can only connive at his series of dark transactions. Now it is different, although Gion still bears the name of Vice Admiral. But basically will not go back. Taking shelter under the wings of the Sea Emperor. Gion can enjoy doing things that he wanted to do but dared not do before. Gion, what's up? Advertisement. Is Kuzan okay? Okay. Gion nodded. Already almost recovered. That's good. Vice Admiral Crane nodded. I am leaving. Gion said goodbye and walked away on the moonwalk. With the return of Gion, the 2 small boats that had been moored for a long time on the frozen coast set sail again. The next destination is de Reese Rosa. At the same time. New World de Reese Rosa. The second-floor heights of the capital, the open-air swimming pool of the palace. Shichibukai Doflamingo looked somber in his flamboyant flamingo suit. Sitting silently on the deck chair. Dover. Torapal, a disgusting snot-nosed man with a big snot all over his body, stepped forward quickly. Is there any news from Punk Hazard or Monet? Doflamingo asked 1.6 in a deep voice. Not yet, Dover, but Virgo seems to have found something. Torable sent a pitch-black little phone bug. Dover, Punk Hazard guy's hard research was discovered by Marine. I'm afraid the whole army has been wiped out now. Marine Vice Admiral Virgo Shensheng reported. What did you say? Boom. The wine glass in Doflamingo's hand exploded. Bloody red wine splashed everywhere. Who the hell did it? Advertisement Chapter 271 2 Emperors and 3 Mates, scared to pee Doflamingo open black lens bracket subscription close black lens bracket. Advertisement. New World, Land of Love, Passion and Toys, de Reese Rosa. This is a peaceful island surrounded by huge mushroom rocks. 800 years or even earlier, this country was named Don Quixote. 800 years ago, something happened. As the initiator of the event, King de Reese Rosa Don Quixote and the other 18 families settled in the Holy Land Mariajoy together with the exception of Alabasta Neferudali, becoming the Celestial Dragons. According to the agreed documents, those who become Celestial Dragons will no longer enjoy the dominion over the original country. The one who inherited this country from the Don Quixote royal family and became the new king of de Reese Rosa is the Riku family who has served for generations. However, the rule of the Liku royal family over this country ended 8 years ago. 29. Dynasty change. Regime change. This is nothing more than normal. What a coincidence. Successor to the Riku royal family. It is Don Quixote who becomes the new king of de Reese Rosa. 800 years ago, the descendants of the Don Quixote clan voluntarily left the holy land of Mariajoy. Relinquished the status of celestial dragons. The result was merciless reprisals from civilians. In revenge, the already distorted Don Quixote Doflamingo is further blackened. Under the instigation of the evil party, Don Quixote family established. And 8 years ago, Doflamingo regained the dominion of de Reese Rosa by some bloody means. A regime change in a country. Advertisement. Especially the regime seized by pirates. Marine should have taken it very seriously. However, because of Doflamingo's Shichibukai status. Not even Marine can handle it. Plus orders from the world government. Even Vice Admiral Crane, the Marine Chief of Staff, had to give up the full investigation of de Reese Rosa. 8 years since the Doflamingo regime came to power. On the bright side, here is a peaceful, stable, full of laughter. The economy of de Reese Rosa has developed like never before. In just 8 years, it has evolved from the farming era to a prosperous commercial power. The city is prosperous, singing and dancing everywhere. It is also the envy of other countries in the New World. However, what people see is only the appearance. How could a country dominated by ambitious pirates be as simple as it appears on the surface? Hidden under the light is a deep darkness that ordinary people cannot see. A living toy known as de Reese Rosa's specialty. It is the greatest darkness hidden in this country. Once it is revealed, it will be bloody. The trip de Reese Rosa. Chi Yu didn't mind showing de Reese Rosa's true side either. After all, it was Summit War. That kid Doflamingo was really arrogant. Just flying is not enough. More lessons should be given. Certainly. This time, Operation de Reese Rosa is still led by Gion. Advertisement. Chi Yu is still sitting high in the clouds, watching the play silently. But against a mere Shichibukai. If he is dispatched at all. That would be really bullying. After all, they are now on these two small ships. But there are Chi-Yu and Admiral Aokiji, two of the world's top fighters. Also, Gion, Yamato, and Sabo are all genuine Emperor's deputy combat power. 2 Emperors and 3 mates. This lineup can almost even be eaten by the Sea Emperor group. The haze between Gion's brows and eyes became deeper and deeper. How could it be possible for King Liku, who is a beloved Mingjun, to change his temperament drastically in just one day and slaughter his subjects wantonly? Wait, Doflamingo, Robin and Khalifa are also helping to organize. Gion took it and said, "Thank you, Koala. Over time. I'm afraid it will scare Doflamingo to death." Sure enough, there are unknown tricks in it. This time, I will definitely pull out all your fox tails. Although it has long been known that Doflamingo is doing various illegal businesses under the name of Shichibukai. Gion spoke firmly, already able to see, Derice Rosa. Koala held a stack of documents and sent them to 070 in front of Gion. Miss Gion, these are all the information our revolutionary army has collected about Doflamingo and Derice Rosa. But Gion never knew that Doflamingo's covering was so extensive. On the lookout, Sabo yelled. What caught her attention even more was the Derice Rosa incident 8 years ago. If it's true, they all move out together. Advertisement Chapter 272 Landing on Tokushima. Girl Rebecca. Open black lens bracket. Subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Derice Rosa West Blue Shore. 2 small boats docked one after the other. Let's split up and act now. Disband now. Chi-Yu waved his hand to order. Mr. Chi-Yu, Miss Gion, Sabo and I went to the underground port to infiltrate and investigate first. Koala waved. Even with Sabo. Prepare to infiltrate Derice Rosa's underground trading port. Back in the days of the Revolutionary Army. Their Revolutionary Army conducted many investigations on Doflamingo and Derice Rosa. Now is the time to put the information gathered in the investigation to use. Robin, let's go too. Yamato stretched out his white and slender hands. Okay. Robin nodded slightly. Walked towards the nearest port town with Yamato. The last 2-person team is naturally Gion and Khalifa. I'm not interested in Derice Rosa, I just want to act with Lord Chi-Yu. Khalifa kicked the ground in a dispirited manner, her red lips pursed slightly. Obviously, at this time when Gion and Robin are both engaged in action, it is a great opportunity for her and Chi-Yu to live together. Khalifa has long imagined countless romantic 2-person world ideas in his mind. For example, staying at a hotel for 3 days and 3 nights. Khalifa, what are you still doing? Gion turned around and looked at Khalifa with a smile. Under Gion's slightly menacing gaze, Khalifa's delicate body trembled for no reason. Even if she is also a superhuman level master, there is no comparison with admiral candidates like Gion. Come right away. Khalifa reluctantly gave Chi-Yu one last look. Seeing that Chi-Yu just smiled and waved goodbye, he didn't mean to speak. Advertisement. Khalifa could only sigh inwardly, and quickly followed Gion. Send away Gion and others. Chi-Yu turned to look at Aokiji Kuzan sunbathing on the deck of another ship. Aren't you going to play on the island? Chi-Yu asked with a smile. No, it's better for me to just lie down like this. Besides, if I leave, who will guard the boat for you? Aokiji Kuzan waved. Then the guard of the ship is in your hands, Aokiji. Chi-Yu smiled slightly. Wow, there is a breeze blowing in the sky. A slender figure appeared out of thin air in the capital of the Derice Rosa, the boulevard of the bullfighting arena. No one noticed. On the big screen outside the arena, the bloody battle between the sword fighters is going on. It drew cheers from the people. In the past, sword fights were supposed to focus on skills, and the more points you got, the more you could be right. Now, under the influence of Doflamingo and Don Quixote, the evil and inferiority deep in people's hearts are stimulated. I am more interested in the bloodshed of the gladiators on the stage. No side fell. The sword fight never ends. Chi-Yu just looked at it for a while before losing interest. Compared to watching others fight, Chi-Yu prefers to kill with his own hands. Shaking his head, Chi-Yu was about to leave. Sudden. Really, what a big deal. He's obviously a one-legged toy soldier. What right does he have to keep restraining me, asking me, and ordering me to learn swords? I obviously don't want to fight anyone else. Advertisement. Obviously it's just a toy. Why is there always a father like heirs in front of me, my father? Oops. The beautiful girl with pink braids and a small mouth who kept complaining and murmuring let out a coquettish cry and fell to the ground. Chi-Yu, who was about to leave, turned his head. He looked at the cute girl behind him calmly. Under Chi-Yu's deep gaze, Rebecca, a girl with long, soft pink hair, couldn't help but tighten her skirt tightly. Sorry, I accidentally bumped into you, I'm really sorry. The girl bowed her head weakly to apologize. Oh. Chi-Yu nodded knowingly. I searched for the memory of this girl from my mind. Princess Rebecca, your name. Chi-Yu's big hand landed on top of her head. Looking at Chi-Yu's outstretched hand. As wide as the sea. The girl Rebecca's pupils shrank suddenly. As warm as the sun. The other side. He could only close his eyes helplessly, preparing for Chi-Yu's revenge. Her whole heart was in her throat. Princess Derice Rosa and the daughter of the gladiator Cyrus. What followed was a wonderful sense of peace that I had never felt before. The expected pain did not fall. The little head couldn't think anymore. However, this feeling is worse than being targeted by human traffickers before. being stared at by Chi Yu's deep eyes. Rebecca lowered her head firmly, decided by Zhao, feeling that everything about herself was being seen through. Suddenly, advertisement chapter 273. Here comes Chi Yu. Doflamingo pales with horror. Open black lens bracket. Subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Your name? Chi Yu asked as usual. Rebecca. Rebecca opened her eyes wide, summoned up the courage to look up at Chi Yu, who brought her peace and warmth. So lovely, Rebecca thought subconsciously. She had a blank expression on her small face, and then hurriedly lowered her head to hide her shyness. Where are your parents? Chi Yu suddenly asked. Woo. Rebecca whimpered. Chi Yu reacted. My own question is indeed a bit abrupt. In Rebecca's cognition, she is just an orphan. No idea who the father is at all. Mother also died in front of her 8 years ago. Parental issues have always been a trauma to her young mind. Feel sorry. Chi Yu touched Rebecca's little head again. Don't worry, you will find your father. Chi Yu smiled reassuringly. Okay. Rebecca tilted her head in confusion. Big brother, do you know who my father is? Rebecca looked at Chi Yu curiously. The expression on 660's fair little face gradually became more and more confused. By the way, I think Big Brother looks familiar to you. Rebecca rested her fingers on her forehead, thinking hard. However, he couldn't think about it for a while. Rebecca. Suddenly, the delicate voice of the Risheng woman resounded from not far away. Attracted the attention of Chi Yu and Rebecca. A beautiful figure covered in a large robe walked quickly and came to the two of them. Advertisement. You are. Rebecca raised her slender hand subconsciously and covered her small mouth. The capital of de Rosa, a 2-story Highland palace. Outdoor swimming pool. Today's Shichibukai Doflamingo is still lying on his exclusive recliner. A glass of red wine was shaking in his hand. There are cracks spreading on the cup wall from time to time. Then it exploded with a bang. CJED, bloody red wine splashes everywhere. This is the 21st glass that Doflamingo has shattered in the past 3 days. As one of the mighty Shichibukai, it is also the largest dark intermediary in the underground world. The clown Doflamingo is black and white. All kinds of businesses are flourishing. It seems that there are signs of rising to become the overlord of the underground world. On weekdays, no matter what kind of event you face, Doflamingo can face it with a smile. But this time. But he couldn't laugh. There is no other reason. The loss of Punk Hazard's research base and the arrest of Geisa affected him too much. Because Geisa is the link between him and the Sea Emperor of this new world. A link to the 4 Emperors Kaido of the Beasts. All the man-made demon fruit power circulating in the world now come from his de Rosa. Sad ingredients provided by Geisa. Then the little people are responsible for nurturing them. A complete industrial chain has just been formed for a year. The difficulties in planting artificial devil fruit have just been overcome. Kaido is also very satisfied with the first batch of man-made devil fruit sent to Wanokuni Oni Island. Not surprisingly, going forward, Beast's Pirates will be the largest customer of his man-made devil fruit industry. Their Don Quixote family can also be further improved and expanded by relying on Kaido. Advertisement. But risks always come with opportunities. While enjoying the superior convenience brought by the beasts, he also needs to bear the wrath of beasts that may come at any time. Once his man-made devil fruit is not available, worst outcome. There may be dragons soaring across the sky descending on de Rosa. That would be a real catastrophe. The wrath of the Sea Emperor, only the Sky Sea Emperor can resist. That's right. Doflamingo seemed to think of something. His eyes lit up under the pink sunglasses. The Emperor of the Sea is resolved by the Emperor of the Sea. Although their Don Quixote does not have a strong man of this level sitting in town. But now, the 4 Emperors Kaido of the Beasts and Beasts Pirates who sit in Wanokuni are already being targeted by the giants of the sea. Torrebel screamed. Doflamingo asked lightly, what's wrong, Torrepal? An anxious voice sounded. Kaido of the Beasts can't take care of themselves. Dover. Doflamingo frowned. After the Summit War, the strongest sea emperor in the world. Fufurofer. Dover, something is wrong, I just received a patrol report from the West Blue Shore. It's only now that I think of this, my brain is really slow. Doflamingo resumed his usual complacency and laughed. What did you say? That man, who, Torpol, the top cadre of Don Quixote, who was drooping with a disgusting and snotty nose, ran over. And how could he come to talk to him because of a mere man-made devil fruit? Now is the time. Found that man's boat. Advertisement chapter 274 Admiral Aokiji and Doflamingo. Advertisement. Dover. The top cadre of the Don Quixote family Plum Blossom Army. Torpol, who had a snotty nose drooping all over his body, screamed nervously and panicked. What's the matter, Torpol? Asked Doflamingo. The big thing is bad, way. Torrebel came to Doflamingo with a face full of shock, horror and anxiety. Just now, I received a message from the Coast Guard, that man is here. The sea after the Summit War, the Emperor, landed on our de Rosa not long ago. Torrebel yelled with all his might. After a moment of dead silence. Boom. Doflamingo's new goblet explodes again. The bloody red wine splashed in all directions. Nani, what did you say? The King of the Sea. That arrogant guy from the Red Hair Pirates. Doflamingo's voice raised more than an octave. Hey, this is no joke. Why did that man come to de Rosa? No one could answer Doflamingo's question. Dover, what are we going to do next? Torpal anxiously awaits Doflamingo's decision. Where is that dangerous man now? Still on the coast? Doflamingo asked in a deep voice. This, I don't know. Torrebel shook his head. I do not know what that means. Advertisement. Haven't you sent someone to investigate? Doflamingo raises his eyebrows. No, Dover, people, we have already sent 3 batches. But none of them were able to come back and report. Torrebel said with a face full of horror. Where's Viola? You should be able to see her staring fruit ability. Doflamingo grimly opened his mouth. What happened again? Actually, Violet has been missing since just now. Torrebel bit the bullet and opened his mouth. What did you say? 1 or 2, they won't come in handy at critical moments. Doflamingo's face was gloomy as if it was about to drip water. Then let me go there myself. I'd like to see what that arrogant B************ D is trying to do. Doflamingo said coldly. His knees are slightly bent. His figure suddenly ejected into the sky, stepping on the invisible thin line between clouds, rushing to the coast. De Reese Rosa West Blue Shore. It has turned into a world of ice and snow. Shore and beyond, lifelike ice sculptures stand upright, glittering in the sunlight. The only thing that is not an ice sculpture is the boat. The former Marine Admiral Aokiji was leisurely lying on the deck chair, closing his eyes and resting his mind. Ask for flowers. Beside, advertisement. A girl with green curly hair stood quietly like a servant. She is the Logia Snow Fruit capable Monet, former Don Quixote family cadre. Now she is working as a nurse for patient Aokiji Kuzan, responsible for taking care of Aokiji's daily life and diet. Originally Aokiji refused, but Guillaume insisted on pushing the captive Monet over. In addition, Chiyu also deeply agrees with this. 0. It's not even a name for the duo of Aokiji and Monet, ice and snow. Logia frozen fruit and Logia snow fruit go together perfectly. Ah la la, about. His eyes looked towards the southeast sky. A figure descended from the sky. Some moment. Clatter. Whoosh. Kuzan waved his hand and took off the blindfold. We will meet at this place, Admiral Aokiji. Doflamingo, who is shaped like a flamingo, appeared in front of Aokiji and Monet with steps of disbelief. Fooferfer. I didn't expect it. I really didn't expect it. Footsteps sounded. Monet quickly and thoughtfully offered refreshments. Shining in the sun. What's the matter? Mr. Kuzan, would you like some tea or a snack? When it hit the ground, it stirred up a cloud of diamond, ice dust. Boom. Aokiji Kuzan on the recliner suddenly let out another alala. Next second. Advertisement chapter 275 Aokiji Frozen Doflamingo. Advertisement. De Reese Rosa West Blue Shore. This is the world of ice and snow. Ice and snow cover the earth, glittering in the sunlight. Magnificent and magnificent. Clatter. Doflamingo walked forward slowly with steps that no relatives recognized. His face was cloudy and uncertain. With 3-point shock, 3-point incredible and very frightened. I thought that what Torrebel reported was scary enough. But never thought about it. There is actually another big surprise waiting for 157, him here. Fooferfer. I didn't expect it. I really didn't expect it. We will meet at this place, Admiral Aokiji. Doflamingo grinned sinisterly. It's still free, it's for pictures. Aokiji waved his hand casually. Little Lord. Behind Aokiji, Monet, who saw Doflamingo appearing, suddenly had a drastic change in expression. But don't wait for her to speak. As a Logia snow fruit capable user, a breath hit her with chills. Monet lowered his head in panic, not daring to cross the line in the slightest. Fufurofer. Doflamingo calmly refocused his gaze on Admiral Aokiji. I didn't expect that the former admiral of headquarters would degenerate to such a degree after losing the battle for Marshall. Advertisement. Keep a young girl by your side to serve, is your justice completely rotten? Aokiji. Doflamingo sneered. If you want to provoke me, forget it, I'm just helping someone keep the prisoners. Aokiji said casually. Help people. Help whom? The Emperor of the Sea. The original Admiral Aokiji became a subordinate of the Sea Emperor less than half a month after quitting Marine. This is really big news that can detonate the world. Doflamingo grinned. His figure flashed. Soar like a flamingo. Falling down again is already standing on the bow of the ship where Aokiji is. Invisible. A few silk threads that are so thin that they are almost invisible to the naked eye are ejected. Don't wait to play a role. Next second. Ultimate's icy cold air burst out from Aokiji's body suddenly. Freezes Doflamingo's thin line. It also turned him into a flamingo ice sculpture. I've already said, this is my current task, can you please not be too presumptuous? Doflamingo. Aokiji spoke quietly, mouth open and close. Dark blue gas steamed. Little Lord. Looking at the frozen Doflamingo, Monet's eyes widened in horror. His expression was full of panic and fear. Next second. Only the sound of clicking can be heard. Advertisement. The surface of Doflamingo's frozen ice sculpture suddenly spread dense cracks. Finally, accompanied by a bang, the ice sculpture was completely shattered. The body of Doflamingo is still intact. Certainly. It is also visually lossless. Actually, if there is nothing else, you can go, and don't send people to me anymore. The most terrifying man in this sea is coming. His expression was unprecedentedly solemn. Turn around and walk across the sky, returning to the capital as soon as possible. Cover up your trembling with big movements. Aokiji lazily let out a big yawn. Under the erosion of cold air, his body suffered a certain degree of frostbite. Doflamingo laughed a few times. As expected of Admiral, it seems that you are recovering well. The smile froze on Doflamingo's face. Doflamingo snorted coldly. The worst has finally happened. Fufurofer. Okay. The figure soared into the air again. Doflamingo smiled. I don't intend to participate in Derice Rosa's matter, you should be on guard against other people. 5.9 Aokiji waved his hand, expressing disappointment. Prepare to deploy to deal with the biggest crisis since Don Quixote family was built. Advertisement Chapter 276 A name representing a new era after Whitebeard. Advertisement. Sunset. Dusk fell. Derice Rosa is peaceful and peaceful. It's like the last calm before the storm. On the street with people coming and going. One man and two women, a tall man and woman side by side. That outstanding temperament attracted the attention of many passers-by. But don't wait for them to fix their eyes. A sudden gust of wind and sand narrowed their eyes. Wait until the vision is clear again. The three figures had disappeared from their sight and disappeared without a trace. How come? People who caught a glimpse by chance laughed and shook their heads. Get rid of the absurd thoughts in your head. After all, how could the most terrifying emperor in this sea appear here without causing the slightest commotion? Must be an illusion. The residents of the royal capital all thought so. Under Violet's arrangement, Chi Yu officially stayed at a luxury hotel in the capital. The two princesses, Violet and Rebecca, were left in the living room to catch up. Chi Yu went straight to the bathroom to take a shower. By the way, scan the whole country with observation hockey. View the movements and progress of each team. Chi Yu's sense of knowledge sensed the figure walking through the air, all the way to the shore of West Blue. Only Doflamingo comes to mind. Leave the words on the coast to Aokiji, don't bother. Chi Yu's perception was then transferred from Yamato and Robin's team. At the same time, advertisement. Hotel living room. Violet and Rebecca, the two princes and daughters, one big and one small, stared with wide eyes at the moment. For a long time, Rebecca, you, Violet spoke. Don't wait to ask. Rebecca took her arm affectionately. Aunt Violet, we finally meet again. I'm not alone. Rebecca's eyes were slightly red. She's been alone all this time. Now I finally found my family. The mature woman in front of her was her mother's sister, her aunt. Violet, formerly the second princess of Derice Rosa. Because of Paramesh's staring fruit ability, she was spotted by Doflamingo and threatened. In order to save the lives of his father King Riku and others, Violet had to bear the burden of humiliation and joined Doflamingo's command, becoming one of the cadres of the Don Quixote family. But not so long ago today, Violet routinely patrols overseas with her Paramesha staring fruit ability. She saw the boat of Chi Yu, the Emperor of the Sea, and his party. At the same time, I also saw hope. Violet knows that the opportunity to liberate Derice Rosa has come. Even if there is only a 1 in 10,000 chance. She has to try her best. No matter what the price is. So she did not report the news of Chi Yu's discovery. After reporting that everything was as usual, he quietly left the palace. Advertisement. Found Chi Yu outside the bullfight arena. At the same time, he also saw his niece. That is Rebecca in front of me. Violet glanced in the direction of the bathroom, and then her eyes fell on her little niece. Rebecca, what the hell is going on? Why are you with that grown-up? Where's Mr. Toy Soldier who has been protecting you? Violet asked again and again. Mr. Soldier is a big fool, I don't want to talk to him anymore. Rebecca's small mouth pouted slightly, playing with a girl's petty temper. Asked Rebecca, Rebecca, do you know who that lord is? Rebecca, that lord, that is the strongest lord in this sea. Violet took a deep breath. Auntie, who is that big brother? Is he a very powerful person? I seem to have seen it somewhere. In fact, Chi Yu's identity will be announced in detail immediately. Violet froze for a moment, then shook her head. Rebecca shook her head in confusion. That big brother and I actually just met each other not long ago, so you're here, Auntie. Knowing that my little niece is having trouble with that weird, special toy soldier again. After hearing the name Chi Yu and the title of Emperor of the Sea, Violet didn't need much to say. Besides, the most important thing before them is 883. Violet took a deep breath and asked solemnly. Rebecca fully reacted. At the same time, she also knew that Rebecca didn't really hate toy soldiers. After all, this name represents the new era after the end of the Whitebeard era. Violet spoke solemnly. Advertisement Chapter 277 Violet and Rebecca's shock and excitement. Advertisement. He, the big brother is. Learn Chi Yu's true identity from Violet. The girl Rebecca couldn't help being stunned for a while. The whole body, from the inside out, is dominated by shocking emotions. She finally knew the source of that mysterious familiarity. In fact, it was not that she did not doubt Chi Yu's identity. Just because the facts are too shocking, she subconsciously denied her conjecture. Now, she finally dared to confirm. Chi Yu is really what she once saw in the newspapers. The big man she thought she would never meet in her life. O King of the Sea. Just as Rebecca was deeply immersed in shocking emotions. There was a sound of the door opening from the direction of the bathroom. After simply washing his body, Chi Yu stepped out calmly. Looking at Chi Yu with a perfect 9-headed body. Look at the well-defined muscle texture of Chi Yu's upper body. For a while, Violet couldn't help but stare blankly, staring straight at her eyes. He swallowed unconsciously. Xiaolian even flew up a few red clouds unconsciously. In the next second, she shook her head violently, shaking off the charming thoughts in her mind. Then respectfully bowed down in front of Chi Yu. Master Chi Yu, my name is Violet. Please forgive my earlier faux pas. Princess Violet spoke respectfully. Get up and talk. Chi Yu sat down on the sofa carelessly. Yes, Violet still knelt on the ground awkwardly. Master Chi Yu, please allow me to ask a question. What is the purpose of your trip to Rosa? Violet suppressed the tension in her heart, and asked boldly. Well, advertisement. Chi Yu pretended to be thinking. After a while, if I say that I am here to overthrow Doflamingo and the Don Quixote family and save Rosa, would you be satisfied? Chi Yu smiled. Real. Violet and Rebecca Chi-Chi's eyes lit up. This is the greatest expectation in their hearts. However, the next second, the smile on Violet's face froze. Looking at Chi Yu's half-smile expression, Violet knew that she was thinking too much. The strongest emperor in this sea did not come here to be the hero of Rosa and help them overthrow the Don Quixote family. Those words before were just the sea emperor making fun of them. Even so, Violet didn't dare to have the slightest dissatisfaction with this. After all, Chi Yu is the emperor of the sea. If you mess with him, the whole of Rosa will perish. I'm really sorry, Master Chi Yu, I was the one who was rude. Violet touched her forehead to the ground, thanking her respectfully. Under my heart, I couldn't help but sighed lightly. This time, she made a wrong bet after all. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, Chi Yu smiled. Raise your head, Violet, raise your head. Don't be disappointed, although I am not here to be Rosa's hero, but there are people on my boat who sincerely want to solve your Rosa question. Just relax and wait for now. Tomorrow, something different will happen in this country. Chi Yu grinned. Real. Violet, who was already desperate and hopeless. Listening to Chi Yu's words at this moment, I feel that there is another village in the dark. Once again the future suddenly became clear. I'm not going to lie to you. Chi Yu nodded with a smile. Really? Thank you so much. Violet bowed deeply again. Advertisement. Good moment. Violet finally sorted out her excitement. The expression on his face gradually became firm. This Rosa rescue battle. As the former princess of Rosa, she naturally couldn't really do nothing. Even if the strength is low. But at least she has something she can do. For example, inform Chi Yu about the Don Quixote family. Simply organize your thoughts. Violet continued. Lord Chi Yu, the most terrifying thing in the Don Quixote family is not Doflamingo, but that sugar with the special devil fruit ability, treat me. At the end, Violet laughed again and shook her head. Laugh at your own stupidity. After all, what is sitting in front of her is the real peak of this sea and this world. Now when Chi Yu's real body descends, killing Doflamingo and Don Quixote family is not easy. In the face of absolute power, no matter what ability you have, you can't turn the tide. Her so-called confidential information is not of much use at all. I'm really sorry, Lord Chi Yu. I thought I could be of some use to Zhao. Violet said. Never mind. It's getting late, take a good rest tonight. Wait for tomorrow. Chi Yu said calmly. Yes, Lord Chi Yu. Violet and Rebecca agreed in unison. A suite with 2 rooms. One of them is occupied by Chi Yu. The other belongs to Rebecca and Violet Spoon. After washing, Rebecca fell asleep early, looking forward to the glorious tomorrow. However, Violet tossed and turned, unable to fall asleep for a long time. She knew she had to do something for this country. For a long time, Violet seemed to have made up her mind. She quietly came to Chi Yu's room. Advertisement Chapter 278. Violet dedicates herself. Doflamingo is furious. Advertisement. Night fell. Rosa is serene. However, behind the scenes, the undercurrent is already surging. The Revolutionary Army team composed of Koala and Sabo successfully infiltrated the underground dark port of Rosa. A large amount of information was obtained. That's the record at this clown stop around the world. And the list of weapons purchases of countries around the world. A casual combination of Robin and Yamato. Walk around all the way to find out the information on the surface. At this moment, he has come to the capital to settle down. Finally, Guion and the Khalifa team. Just like the encounter between Chi Yu and the Princess Rebecca. Guion and Khalifa met Cyrus, a one-legged toy soldier. It's rare to come across a toy that has a mind of its own. Guion will naturally not miss it for nothing. On the spot, Cyrus in toy form was suppressed. Originally wanted to rise up against Cyrus who fled. I have heard Guion's questioning. Learned that she wanted to know the truth about the country. After wanting to save the country, 553 Cyrus was moved. Especially after learning that Guion's true identity is a Marine Admiral candidate. Cyrus made a decisive decision. He brought Guion to the secret base of the Sunflower Field. There, I will tell Guion unreservedly everything about this country. When I learned of the tragedy that happened in Rosa. The truth about Wang Quan's change 8 years ago. Guion couldn't help but tremble with anger. On the spot, I wanted to go to the palace to settle with Doflamingo and Don Quixote. Fortunately, Cyrus was calm enough. Only then did Guion quickly stop him. Tell her to contact the trusted Marine. Hope for Cyrus. Advertisement. Guillaume euphemistically expressed his current situation. Cyrus didn't force it. Since Marine can't come, then it's up to them to liberate the country with their own hands. If it's just him and the little human race, the combat power is of course far from enough. But now they have Marine's admiral on the bench. In addition, Guillaume told him even more. There are also several partners whose strength is not inferior to hers. So, it is exciting. Cyrus immediately called the warriors of the little people to contact and agree on the size of the uprising. Everything is only for tomorrow. Royal Hotel. It looks like everything is going well. There is no room for me to intervene. Qi Yu smiled slightly. Xiao Ming, let me appreciate it tomorrow, your last struggle. Dang. Suddenly there was a knock on the door. Come in. Qi Yu spoke casually. Excuse me, my lord. Violet entered the door cautiously. What's up? Qi Yu on the windowsill glanced at Violet calmly. Know everything. Under the bright moonlight, Violet knelt down in front of Qi Yu. Nodded lightly. The long and narrow eyes are full of piety and hope. Master Qi Yu, you are the future and hope of this country. JCG. No amount of gratitude is enough for your great kindness to this country. If you don't dislike it, please accept this thank you gift from me in advance. Violet spoke humbly. Advertisement. Have you figured it out? Qi Yu asked calmly. Yes, no regrets, because you are my future. Violet smiled brightly. The corner of Qi Yu's mouth curled up. He got up straight and came to Violet. Then grab your future. Yes, Lord Qi Yu. Hold, I've seized the future. This moment, the second floor of the capital of de Rosa. The royal palace occupied by the Don Quixote family. No sleep tonight, have you found it yet? Doflamingo growled sharply. The blue veins on his forehead swelled. Yes, I am really sorry, young master, we haven't found that sea emperor yet. One of Don Quixote's minions fell to the ground tremblingly. Dover, the person who is suspected to be related to the sea emperor has entered the capital now. Toripal, with a snotty nose all over his body, ran over in a hurry. Get them now, Doflamingo said irritably. This. Toribal looked puzzled. There's no need to worry, that sea emperor has made it clear that he wants to attack me, so why should I give him face? Doflamingo's murderous opening, only if Toribal was afraid of the emperor's wrath. No, Dover, it's not that we won't catch it, but we can't catch it. Nico Robin of the two is not to be feared, but the other one is the beast's pirates. Kaido's son. Toribal spoke in horror. Yamato. Doflamingo's face became increasingly ugly. Advertisement Chapter 279 Doflamingo's Fear. Advertisement. Early morning. The sun is rising. The distant sky is gorgeous. The top floor of the highest class hotel in the capital of de Rosa. Qi Yu in a bathrobe stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling windows. With his hands behind his back, he looks into the distance with deep and secluded eyes. It's about to start, Qi Yu said softly. Okay. A woman's groan came from behind. Violet stood up slowly. She covered herself with a pure white and reddish sheet. Master Qi Yu, what's coming? Violet opened her sleepy eyes and asked in a daze. Next second. Rumble. There was a loud rumble from the Smile Factory under the Don Quixote family in the royal capital. Then, Violet knew. The light of de Rosa, which lasted 8 years of darkness, is coming. Artificial Devil Fruit Smile Factory. Clang. The crisp sword chant echoed under the sky. The famous sword Kinvira that exudes a brilliant golden color in its sheath. Rumble. The huge factory collapsed. Become the background board of Guillaume. Ooh, it's amazing. The big sister's head is amazing. Advertisement. As expected of a big sister head. In this way, it can really be done. Under the leadership of the captain and the big sister, we will definitely be able to achieve the final victory. The simple little human warriors all shouted excitedly. Princess. Where is Princess Mancherly? An old man of the little human race yelled anxiously. Master Mao, calm down. Princess auspicious people have their own celestial features, so they will be fine. Yeah. Wicca and other small human warriors tried to persuade them repeatedly. Master Mao, Princess Manchueli must have been imprisoned in the palace by Doflamingo. Don't worry, we'll get there right away. The reliable villain Commander Liu Dao. All the little human warriors responded in unison. If our Don Quixote family falls, New World will be in chaos. Factory ruins. The feeble opening of a man is smooth as a toy. He's tough guy Senor Peak. One of the cadres of the Don Quixote family. Responsible for guarding the factory. Yet even the mighty Don Quixote cadre. In front of Guillaume, the admiral candidate, it is still far from enough. It was just a face-to-face before. The tough guy Senor fell under Guillaume's Kimpira. After struggling to get up, he was taken care of by Khalifa. Under the baptism of Khalifa's bubble fruit ability. Senor has been washed of all power. New World will still go without you Don Quixote family, don't think too much about yourself. Guillaume walked calmly, past Senor, and then stopped again. Whether it's your Don Quixote family, or other villains in New World, I will definitely arrest you all with my own hands in the name of justice. Advertisement. Guillaume said decisively. The second floor of the capital. Palazzo de Rosa. Ask for flowers. The Don Quixote cadres headed by Doflamingo gathered together. What did you say? The Smile Factory is destroyed. The Senor was also defeated. Where the hell is that B******************? D. Toribal, Diamando, Pika, Cora, Rauji, and other cadres couldn't help shouting in shock. The moment the question is uttered, they had the answer in their hearts. Now in this country, there is one and only one party that dares to take action against them and has the ability to take action against them. Think of that name, think of that title. A group of Don Quixote cadres felt fear and cold from the bottom of their hearts. Dover, little lord, what are we going to do next? Are we going to give up the site we have worked so hard to manage for 8 years? Torrebel, Diamante and others all focused on Doflamingo on the throne. Doflamingo didn't speak. At this moment, his heart is also caught in a fierce battle between heaven and man. How to do? Surrender or flee? Anyway, in a head-on confrontation, they have absolutely no chance of winning. Before he can figure out why. My lord, something is wrong. The intruders are coming. Master Doflamingo, something is wrong. The underground dark port. The dark port has been invaded by someone. 2 Don Quixote families sprinted to report one after another. Advertisement Chapter 280 Deprivation of Doflamingo Shichibukai Title. Advertisement. Kill. Palazzo de Reis Rosa. Don Quixote Base Camp. The sound of shouting and killing shook the sky. The guards of Don Quixote's minions in the palace came out in full force. However, they couldn't even slow down the intruders' pace. Moonwalk. Road of Thorns. The original CP9 Superman Khalifa stepped on Moonwalk and waved the thorny whip in his hand. The long whip is like a winding lion majesty, screaming again and again wherever it passes. Bringing up one after another of blood splashing. Don Quixote's ordinary minions fell to the ground one after another. Those who struggled to get up would soon be swarmed up by the warriors of the little human race, and successfully knocked out with a knife. All the way unimpeded, the de Reis Luo, September 10th, uprising team headed by Guillaume broke into the de Reis Rosa Palace. Doflamingo, are you ready for sanctions? Guillaume Hockey's scolding. With beautiful eyes like lightning, he glared at Shichibukai Doflamingo on the throne. Looking at the beautiful woman with the cloak of justice fluttering. Everyone in the Don Quixote family headed by Doflamingo couldn't help but constrict their pupils. You are. How come? Marine. And still. Why is Marine here? The top cadre Pika couldn't stop screaming. Ha ha ha, big guy over there, your voice is really. Ha ha ha. In fact, after hearing Pika's sharp voice that didn't match her figure, even in such a serious occasion, Jasmine still couldn't help but laugh out loud. Whole Marine. Listening to Khalifa's wanton ridicule, Pika couldn't help but feel angry, and the anger in her heart was on the verge of erupting. The innate sharp voice has always been Pika's reverse scale. He once swore to kill anyone who laughed at his voice, no matter who it was. Damn Marine, go to hell. Advertisement. Pika waved the armed sword in his hand, and was about to attack. Wait, Pika. At the critical moment, Doflamingo sternly stopped. Dover, young master, didn't you say before that you would kill the person who laughed at Ka's voice? Dellinger, a do-you-and-half-fish man about 14 years old, asked subconsciously. Shut up, Dellinger. The gaudy middle-aged woman Chowla hurriedly stopped the Murloc who couldn't read the atmosphere. Indeed, Doflamingo once said that he would help Pika kill all the people who laughed at him. However, this also has to be divided into objects. Ordinary weak people dare to laugh at them, they don't need to say anything, just kill them directly. But now they are facing Marine's Admiral candidate, Momosuke Guillaume. Big names in Marine, and, more importantly, they suddenly thought. Now it's not just Marine standing behind this Marine Admiral alternate. There is also the most terrifying man in this sea. Confront the man. Even if they are Don Quixote family, they can only run away. A drop of cold sweat started from Doflamingo's forehead and slid down his cheek. It represents the tension and unwillingness in his heart at this moment. De Reis Rosa is the base camp he has worked hard for 8 years. 8 years. Relying on his own contacts and means, he successfully built this place into a transit station for the Dark World. And he also became the #1 middleman in the New World underground world. Detached status. Indispensable. B. The most terrifying man in this sea is here. Although he hasn't shown up yet. Advertisement. But Doflamingo knows. He must be staring somewhere in the country. Hey, Dover, what's next? Torrebel asked anxiously. Doflamingo took a deep breath, looked at Guillaume, and said. This isn't Marine's Momosuke. Guillaume Vice Admiral, what kind of wind is blowing today? Why does Vice Admiral have time to come here? Stop being hypocritical, Doflamingo. I already know everything you have done in this country. Including how despicable means you used to seize the power of this country from King Liku 8 years ago, until now, surrender honestly. Guillaume said coldly. The veins on Doflamingo's forehead swelled slightly. This is really a big misunderstanding. I am a wise king loved by the people. There must be something wrong with Guillaume Vice Admiral. Doflamingo forced himself to calm the opening. Guillaume didn't intend to continue the conversation with him. Just calmly issued an ultimatum. You are nothing more than a Vice Admiral, what right do you have to strip Dover of his Shichibukai status? Those who are qualified are not qualified. After all, this sea will speak with its strength. Are you confident that you can escape from my sword? Do not make jokes. Doflamingo sneered. Pirate Doflamingo and Don Quixote family, you were convicted of illegally stealing de Reis Rosa, which is a serious violation of the Shichibukai regulations. In the name of Marine Vice Admiral, I announce that you will be deprived of your Shichibukai status. You can be arrested honestly. Guillaume frowned. Why are you laughing? Amidst the clanging sound, the bright golden light exploded. Gion Hockey's rhetorical question. Doflamingo on the throne suddenly smiled at 4.3. Nothing. I just heard a rumor recently. The famous Marine Momasagi Vice Admiral seems to have defected from Marine and joined the Red Hair Pirates. Fufurofer. Diamante and other Don Quixote family cadres sternly reprimanded. Gion is calm in Hockey's opening. So I'm curious, does Momasagi Vice Admiral still have the right to deprive me of my Shichibukai status? That was the famous sword Jinpyra at her waist unsheathed. Gion's expression remained unchanged. What did you say? Advertisement Chapter 281 The Death of Diamante. Wrath of Doflamingo. Conquerors burst. Advertisement. Fufurofer. Fufurofer. Listen to Gion's words. Doflamingo laughed. Laughter unscrupulously. Momasagi Vice Admiral of Marine, you alone dare to challenge my Quixote family. If it wasn't for the fear of the man behind you, do you think you can still stand here and talk to us? Doflamingo cut off his drink sharply. Doflamingo, I can tell you clearly, that person will not interfere with the affairs of this country. Your opponent this time is me. Let your horse come here as much as you want. I will absolutely save this country. Gion held the famous sword Jinpyluo, and opened his mouth firmly. Fufurofer, what a big hole. Doflamingo stood up from the throne, the veins on his forehead swelled slightly. Speaking of which, I suddenly remembered, 2 months ago, Momasagi Vice Admiral, you have been to East Blue 29 Goa Kingdom. Doflamingo asked suddenly, so what? Gion frowned slightly. Little Lord, Dover, the cadres such as Jorah and Torrebel in the main hall suddenly became short of breath. They realized what Doflamingo meant. 2 months ago. Their most important partner, the most important family. Diamante, the top cadre of the Don Quixote family Cube army, once went to East Blue Goa Kingdom to participate in an underground world party. So far gone forever. Inquire through multiple channels. They just know. Their family member Diamante is dead. With agents of the East Blue underworld. Was brutally murdered by someone, leaving no bones. Advertisement. The Don Quixote family who heard the news almost turned upside down. Up to Doflamingo, down to cadres and minions. They were all utterly outraged by this fact. There is endless anger in my heart. However, even the identity of the largest intermediary in the underground world. The information that Doflamingo can find is still pitifully small. There is no way of knowing who actually killed their family members. But in fact, Doflamingo has always had a guess in his heart. It's just that I have been unwilling to face it. Until now. He finally dared to face the terrible truth. Doflamingo took a deep breath. Momasagi Vice Admiral, since you were in the East Blue Goa Kingdom at that time, you should know about it. The massacre that happened in the high town of Goa Kingdom. If possible, can you tell me who killed my family member Diamante? Doflamingo's smile gradually turned cold. Hearing this, Gion frowned slightly. Of course she was aware of the incident in Gao Town, Goa Kingdom. Needless to say, that's what you did. Gion just wanted to speak. Cemetery. There was only a loud bang from outside the hall. Accompanied by screams. The powerful shock wave knocked dozens of famous Don Quixotes into the air. Doflamingo, if you're asking who killed that Diamante guy, here I am. Yamato and Robin's team, wearing a Prajna mask, came hand in hand. Appeared generously in front of Doflamingo and Don Quixote family. What did you say? So it was you. Are you the one who killed Diamante? Advertisement. Korra, Torrebel, Gladius and other cadres shouted in unison. The inner anger erupted like a volcano. Their strong hatred drove them forward, wanting to take revenge on Yamato. Stop all of them. Doflamingo took a deep breath, suppressed the resentment in his heart, and sternly stopped. Dover, but, that person, is the one who gave Diamante to. Pika and the others were puzzled. Doflamingo said nothing. As for the real criminal who killed Diamante, of course he also wished to tear him into pieces. But he also knew, this enemy is no ordinary person. Fufurofer, daughter of the 4 emperors Kaido of the beasts, Yamato, may I know why you killed Diamante 560? Doflamingo asked in a deep voice. Yamato thought for a moment. If you insist, you can only blame him for his bad luck. Yamato answered seriously. This is also true, because Diamandu, who was hit by Yamato's freezing move at that time, still had a chance to survive if he could unfreeze. At that time, Yamato didn't intend to shoot him. It's a pity that Diamante's luck is too bad. A stone fell from the sky. It just happened to smash his body to pieces, leaving him utterly dead. For this fact, Doflamingo doesn't know. In his mind, Yinhei's reason was just playing tricks on him. Daughter of Kaido. Hee hee. Ha 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 ha. Good good, good. Doflamingo laughed and applauded like crazy. Next second. The momentum around him suddenly became cold. The mighty conqueror's hockey emerged like a tidal wave. Boom. Advertisement Chapter 282 A water pipe knocks sugar out. The toy curse is lifted. Advertisement. Yeah, very good, very good. Even if you are Kaido's daughter, I will never show any mercy to you. The veins on Doflamingo's face were bulging, and his expression was extremely hideous. Accompanied by his voice fell. The mighty conqueror's hockey emerged like a tidal wave. Pressed toward Yamato. Just what I want. Doflamingo. Yamato slammed the mace in his hand to the ground, scolding without showing any weakness. A stream of conqueror's hockey not weaker than Doflamingo, even still above it, spreads. It was easy to block the conquerors from Doflamingo. Chi chi. Two powerful conquerors hockey hedge. There seemed to be red and black electric snakes scattered in the void. Under the awe of the breath of the two conquerors' hedges. Except for Guillaume, the faces of the others more or less changed. Fufurofer. Doflamingo smiled sinisterly. On the surface it seems easy. In fact, he was under a lot of pressure. Because he suddenly found out. Own Conqueror's hockey really seems to be no match for Yamato. Only, at this point, he can only hold on and continue to fight. Ooh, suddenly, the shocking exclamation of the little people suddenly sounded. Not because of Doflamingo's matchup with Yamato's conquerors. But because of their leader. Captain Lei Bing, a change in the one-legged toy soldier. Advertisement. 8 years ago, the curse cast on him was lifted at this moment. The one-legged toy soldier disappeared. What appeared instead was a burly man with muscles like horned dragons. Cyrus, the legendary undefeated sword fighter in 3,000 battles, is back. This. Looking at the body that suddenly recovered. Looking at the flesh and blood after 8 years. The extreme shock instantly occupied Cyrus' whole body and mind. After the shock, it was an unprecedented excitement. Since being cursed by Sugar's toy 8 years ago, Cyrus only felt that he had been abandoned by the world. No one in this world remembers him. Even his own wife and daughter have completely forgotten about him. Turned into a toy, he couldn't even protect his wife. He watched helplessly as his beloved wife died in front of him. Finally found his daughter Rebecca. He didn't even have the courage to tell his daughter the truth. I can only guard silently as a toy. Seeing Rebecca crying silently because of her orphan status, he couldn't even warm her daughter with body temperature. But all this is a thing of the past. Although I don't know what's going on. But the toy curse has been removed from him. Team leader. Captain Thunder. Our captain has returned to being a human. So that means, Santo. Santo was knocked down by someone. Great. Really good. The innocent little human soldiers headed by Leo shouted excitedly. In contrast, Doflamingo and the Don Quixote family gang. At this moment, everyone's face was extremely gloomy. What exactly is going on? Advertisement. Cyrus. That toy is that Cyrus. Cyrus who turned into a toy has recovered, which means that other toys also. Dover. Little Lord. Pika. Jorah and other Don Quixote cadres screamed unconsciously. Lord Torrebel, haven't you contacted Dark Harbor yet? The maid girl baby 5 asked. No, neither Mahabas nor Rauji has lost contact. Damn it, I should always stay by Granu's side. Torrebel yelled again and again in horror. This moment. De Reese Rosa Underground Dark Harbor. Cadre Tower. But, Koala, when we came here earlier, were there that many people here? Sabo scratched his head and gave an embarrassed haha. If Sabo hadn't swung that subconscious stick earlier. I don't know. Those people said that they didn't exist before, but those moving toys are gone now. The real strong have more or less premonitions. Koala looked at Granu who was knocked unconscious by Sabo's water pipe, and put his hands on his hips helplessly. Koala looked surprised. Well, forget it, let's go to the top to meet everyone now. This also shows that Tongshu fruit is not really invincible. Jiao Nujiao, now there is a high probability that they will also become forgotten toys. Really, Mr. Sabo, aren't you a little too much? I'm sorry, but at that moment before, I had a very bad feeling, and when I didn't pay attention, Sabo clapped his hands. The other party is just a little girl, and you hit her on the head with a water hose, knocking her out. But from another angle, before the sugar can make a move, it can kill Zhong in seconds. What Sabo and Koala don't know is, looking at the B********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* 183, Rebecca's Remorse. Birdcage by Doflamingo. Advertisement. De Reese Rosa Underground Dark Harbor. Sabo and Koala set off, ready to return to the ground. What Sabo doesn't know is, because of his subconscious danger perception coping, it has had an unprecedented impact on this country. Along with the coma of the childish fruit ability user Granu. 8 years. The toys who were deeply injured by the toy curse returned to their human forms at this moment. Ah, recovered, I finally recovered, I am a human being. Someone yelled happily. It's been 8 years, and I thought that there would be no way to recover in this life. There were also those who slumped on the ground and wept bitterly. There are also ferocious beast toys who wreak havoc and destroy everywhere, pouring out their wrath on humans. Doflamingo, it's all the fault of that Doflamingo who turned us into toys. All 370 of us were lied to. D Doflamingo lied to us for 8 years. I already know the whole truth. The incident that year was not the fault of King Liku, it was all caused by Doflamingo. The truth is spreading, word of mouth. When the toy suddenly turned into a human form, lost memories suddenly returned. The entire De Reese Rosa then fell into unprecedented chaos. The chaotic streets of the royal capital. A girl with pink braids unconsciously fell to the ground. She covered her red lips with her slender hand. A pair of big eyes are red. Tears are constantly brewing. Advertisement. In the end, it broke the embankment and fell. Rebecca, don't cry. J. Violet hugged her niece comfortingly. The nightmare is over, and everyone who became a toy has recovered. And brother-in-law Cyrus, whom we have forgotten, writing has also been restored. Violet said softly, when I heard the name of my father Cyrus. Rebecca's emotions became more and more out of control. Dad, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, Dad. It's all Rebecca's fault, Rebecca is too willful. Obviously my father has been silently guarding by my side, but I didn't notice anything. I used to say so many unreasonable things to my father, I am really a hopeless daughter. Rebecca couldn't stop crying bitterly. She already remembered it all. I also know everything. 8 years ago, it is not the ruthless and fearless toy soldiers who have been silently guarding by his side. Then even if it becomes a toy, it is her father who is still guarding her to the death. Rebecca, go. Cyrus' brother-in-law is now attacking Doflamingo in the palace. Let's go see him now. Violet said. Okay, comma. Damn, hate. Advertisement. Doflamingo's eyes were red. The blue veins on his forehead swelled. The anger in his heart surged like a volcanic eruption. 8 years of hard work at de Rosa has paid off. You can imagine. Wait until the incident here breaks out. Not to mention the throne of the king. Even if he is deprived of the Shichibukai position, it is a certainty and irreversible. As long as everyone who knows the truth is killed, won't no one know. What's so funny about it now? He is not without. Torrible, Pika, Jorah and others looked at Doflamingo worriedly. Doflamingo rubbed his forehead and burst out laughing. Little lord, what the hell are we going to do next? Doflamingo's mouth opened in a huge arc. Now that the evidence is clear, your Shichibukai deprivation is a definite fact, Doflamingo. Fufurofer. The look on Doflamingo's face turned cold. A move that slaughters an island. Birdcage to greet the country of course. Dover, is there any need to talk about this kind of thing? Guion frowned slightly. He thought of a crazy solution. Advertisement Chapter 284 The ability users go to war. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Doflamingo, no matter what you plan, I will never let your trick succeed. Guion sees through Doflamingo's malicious intentions. The famous sword Jinpailuo in his hand bloomed with a fierce sword glow. If you want to avenge your partner Diamante, I'm waiting here now. Yamato stands proudly, and Haki is awe-inspiring. Fufurfur, don't worry, I'll play with you later. Doflamingo smiled sinisterly. The figure like a flamingo floated back. Don't try to run. Guion's eyes were like lightning. Cut it out without mercy. The bright golden sword energy exploded. Don't wait to touch Doflamingo. A thick stone pillar suddenly rushed out of the oblique stab. Stopped Guion's slash. A human face emerged from the surface of the stone pillar. It is Pika, the top cadre of the Don Quixote Spade's army. With the help of its own paramesha, stone fruit ability. He melted his body into the stone and the earth. To gain control over the land. I won't let you get in the way of Dover. Marine. Pika screamed. Paramesha stone fruit ability fully opened. The huge palace trembled violently. Walls, floors, ceilings, and dozens of thick stone pillars slowly deformed. Murderer who killed our family and killed Diamante, I will never forgive you. The disgusting snot-nosed man, Torrible, who has the ability to sticky fruit, yelled angrily. Between waves, disgusting slime unfurls from its sleeves. Sticking to a support column of the palace hall. Advertisement. Kaka. There was an overwhelmed ringing at both ends of the pillar. The cracks spread, and then broke suddenly. Slimy meteor. Torrible jerked violently. The huge stone pillar fell towards Yamato with tremendous force. Facing Torrible's onslaught, from the beginning to the end, the pretty face under Yamato's mask did not change in the slightest. She just calmly raised her right hand. There is an inexplicable chi flowing in the white slender hands. With a trace of lightning. Not armament Haki. This is Conqueror's Haki. Conqueror's winding that only a true master can master. Boom. The moment Torrible's meteor column touched Yamato's slender hand, it exploded with a bang. How is this possible? Torrible yelled in horror. Next second, more and more frightening things happened. I saw that Yamato's already tall body was further raised. There are fine hairs on the surface of fair skin. Zone dog fruit phantom beast species Dako true god form, start. Bingya. No waiter. Yamato's mouth fell open. A breath of extreme cold burst out and exploded. Incredibly fast. In an instant, it devoured Torrible's body. Just like the original Diamante. Torrible was also instantly frozen by Yamato's breath. Turned into an ice sculpture. Advertisement. Lord Torrible. The maid weapon girl baby 5 screamed. Dare to be distracted in the battle with me, what a brave man. Khalifa's voice echoed in baby 5's ears. Ling's weapon maid, baby 5, was covered in fine hairs all over her body. Every part of the body deformed rapidly. However, it was not as fast as those slender hands. Khalifa stretched out her long and slender hands, and quickly brushed over every inch of baby 5's body. Paramesha bubble fruit ability activated. Moment. All of baby 5's strength was taken away by bubbles. It turned into a smooth puppet, and fell powerlessly to the ground. Hateful. The powerful wind pressure blew all the little human warriors off their feet. Click. The fighting fish and half Murloc boy Dellinger moves at a high speed, turning into an afterimage of his debut, and takes the opportunity to launch a surprise attack on Robin. Robin said so. Paramesha flower fruit ability activates. Paramesha turned fruit ability user Buffalo's eyes were red. It's useless, speed means nothing in front of me. 30 round flowers, 4 claws. Several. Hands crossed. The figure of the fighting fish and half-fishman Boyd Dellinger's charge came to an abrupt stop. Sudden wind. Matasaburo. Even Cavendish, who had entered the form of a second personality murderer, couldn't dodge the inevitable blow. The whole person suddenly fell to the ground. Several white slender hands emerged out of thin air on his body, completely locking his joints. Gia, die because of it. The figure suddenly spun like an electric fan. Advertisement Chapter 285 Blast the whole body. Thunder Sword of Destruction. Advertisement. Palazzo de Res Rosa. The battle of the ability users started in full swing. Yamato breathed out a frozen breath, and defeated the top cadre, the snot-nosed Mantorapal. Khalifa uses her bubble fruit ability to disable the weapon-made Baby 5. With his flower fruit ability, Robin subdued the ferocious Beta and half-merman Boyd Dellinger with one move. The art-old woman Yora fell under the siege of the little human warriors headed by the Captain Leo. In the end, Leo was nailed to the ground with the ability to sow fruit. The remaining cadres of the Don Quixote family are Buffalo, the powerful, 617, Flying in the Sky, Gladius, the bursting fruit, and Pi, the top cadre of spades. Blast Rock. Celebration. The ground of the palace swelled as if it was inflated, turning into huge solid bombs. This is exactly the ability of Gladius, the cadre of the Don Quixote family, the blaster who ate the poppy fruit. Able to turn substances touched by hands into explosives. Boom. The ground of the palace swelled to ultimate, and finally exploded with a bang. The powerful impact generated by the explosion spread in all directions. It caused the huge palace hall to tremble violently. Then it collapsed. By now, survive yourself in the family. Gladius couldn't care less. Unleash the explosive fruit ability to your heart's content. Drink. An imposing roar exploded from somewhere in the ruins of the palace. It was the legendary sword fighter Cyrus attacking. Even if a leg is missing, Cyrus is still very brave. The powerful hockey power flows on the sword of the great sword. The attack on Cyrus. Gladius looked impassive. Advertisement. Explosive fruit ability is used on oneself. His body expanded accordingly. Turn into a huge ball. If Gladius in this state is attacked by an external force, a big explosion will occur. Blows up all enemies in the vicinity to ashes. It will not have the slightest damage to itself. That's why Gladius didn't panic at all despite Cyrus' attack. Team leader. Dangerous. Captain. That person is going to explode again. The little human warriors shouted in worry. You all stand down, Leo. Cyrus resolutely stopped drinking, even knowingly facing a terrifying bomb. His one-legged footsteps still didn't slow down in the slightest. The hands holding the sword became more and more firm. The regret and self-blame of not being able to protect the country and his wife 8 years ago. These 8 years of toy career. He could only guard his daughter silently, but was aggrieved by not being able to tell her the truth. At this moment, all of them are integrated into this sword. This sword is the collection of Cyrus, 8 years. It is also the strongest sword in his life. Thunder. Broken, sword. The great sword in Cyrus, hand swung down. Cut open Gladius's swollen body. A little blinding white light shines. Long. Rumble. An unprecedented terrorist explosion occurred. Advertisement. The powerful shock wave spread and raged in all directions. Intense turbulence occurred in the atmosphere. Under the influence of atmospheric turbulence. Buffalo, the user with the ability to spin fruit, staggered and staggered. Snapped. A high-heeled shoe zoomed in rapidly in his eyes. Step on his fat face impartially. The 10-centimeter high heels fell into it. Almost piercing his skull. Boom. Buffalo fell to the ground. Kicked over by Khalifa. Team leader. The little human warriors shouted excitedly. It seems that everyone is over, so it's almost time for me to end too. B************ D Marine, I'm the one who will smash you to pieces in the next blow. Gia, what big talk are you talking about? You don't even know where I am. Wait until everything calms down. Don Quixote officer Gladius has fallen. The entire second floor heights were shaken. On the broken ruins. At his feet, Captain Thunder. For a long time. The roar of the explosion faded away. A figure covered in blood stood tall. Uhu 2.4 inches. Rumble. Guion spoke calmly. The top cadre, Pika, screamed. Advertisement Chapter 286. Guion's special skill, Wanjian returns to the sect. Advertisement. Rumble. De Res Rosa's 2-story high ground trembled violently. A 100-meter level stone titan slowly rose from the ground. That is Pika, the top cadre who has become one with the entire land. Gia, all of you are going to die for me. Pika screamed. The mountain-like fist smashed down on Guion. The fist has not arrived. A strong gust of wind hits first. It is enough to completely overwhelm ordinary people, unable to move. But as Naval Headquarters Admiral Alternate, Guion is naturally not a showy place. The gust of wind ruffled her hair. But it was unable to shake her figure and will in any way. Just when Titan's fist was only the last 10 meters away from the ground. Guion moved. Yuzu tapped the ground lightly. Guion soared into the sky against the strong wind. With a single jump, 29 landed on Titan's arm. Clang. There was a sound of swords exploding between heaven and earth. After a short charge, Guion swung his sword. The famous sword Jinpailuo cut out a spiral sword energy. Flicked over the tens of meters of the arm of the stone titan. Cemetery. The huge fist of the stone titan controlled by Pika stopped. Kaka. A series of fine cracks emerged from the surface of the titan's arm. Then it shattered. Gion steps on moonwalk. The figure is disillusioned step by step, passing through the broken stones and rubble all over the sky. In the end, he climbed to the sky and surpassed the stone titan. Whole marine. Advertisement. Pika screamed. The perspective of the big face is upward, but the Gion above the head cannot be seen. I've killed countless pirates like you. Gion's red lips parted slightly, and he spoke indifferently. Clang. Gion holds a knife in both hands. The famous sword Jinpailuo pierced straight above the top of Pika Titan's Tianling cover. Pika Titan's huge body stopped abruptly. Next second. Horrible scenes happened. A bright golden light pierced Pika Titan's body. The golden sword light blooms from the inside out. Starting from the head, the Bami Pika Titan was neatly divided into two. Half of it fell towards the edge of the highland, falling straight into the sunflower field. The dimmed pupils of the other half of the Titan's body suddenly lit up again. Represents Pika's re-entry. However, the next second. It doesn't wait for the Pika Titan to make the slightest move. Above the sky, countless golden lights bloomed. The splendor of light. Even the scorching sun in the sky seemed to be overshadowed. That was countless golden sword chi. It is also Gion's strongest move. One sword turns into 10,000 swords. Cut. Gion scolded. His hands were slammed down. In an instant. The golden sword energy covering the sky fell like rain. Cut that half of the Pika Titan into countless scattered pieces. There are no large rocks for hiding places. Then Pika's true self is revealed. Hateful. Pika coughed up blood. Advertisement. Roaring and swinging his sword to meet him. However, he was soon submerged in the endless rain of swords. The armed sword in his hand broke off. The golden chain mail on his body was broken inch by inch. The final full body armed defense was also penetrated by the rain of sword energy. Riddled with holes. Powerless and fell to the ground. The last Don Quixote cadre, defeated. Ooh, the ruins of the royal palace. The little human warriors cheered in unison. Cemetery. Boom. It was as if thunder exploded between heaven and earth. An incomparably terrifying atmosphere permeates from the high ground floor. Accompanied by a thunderous rumble. The half-Pika Titan that fell towards the sunflower field not long ago was driven by some kind of force against the trend and soared into the sky. Then it exploded with a bang above the sky. Yamato looked solemn. Only a loud bang was heard. Khalifa was full of nympho. Shattered into nothingness, dissipated with the wind. Gudong. Don't worry, Mr. Lei Bing, that's a partner. The top priority now is to find Doflamingo. That birdcage-like thing seems to be in a bad mood. Robin smiled slightly. What is this? A flamingo-like figure smashed through the dilapidated wall and turned back. Next second. Gudong. It's Doflamingo. The small human warriors headed by Captain Leo rolled their Adam's apple with difficulty. Master Chi Yu. Ahahaha, it shouldn't be too late. Cyrus murmured softly with a face full of shock. Sabo, the second in command of the Revolutionary Army, enters the stage with a smile. Advertisement Chapter 287 Conquerors Winding Thunder 8 trigrams. Advertisement. In the depths of the royal palace of de Ries Rosa. Countless silk threads ejected from Doflamingo's hands, soaring into the sky. It turns into a huge birdcage, which is about to cover the entire de Ries Rosa. Fufurofer. Let this country be buried with our Don Quixote family. Doflamingo laughed maniacally. Cemetery. The destroyed underground elevator not far away was punched open by someone. Dragon Claw Fist. The heavy fist that knocked the iron door of the elevator flew straight towards Doflamingo's face. Facing a sudden attack, Doflamingo's complexion changed slightly. Subconsciously crossed his hands, armament hockey covered the block. Boom. There was a loud bang. Doflamingo, who hastily blocked, was hit hard and flew out. This hit, it doesn't hurt much, but it completely pushed Doflamingo into the abyss of destruction. Have to stand up again. Doflamingo is already in the very center of the encirclement. Sabo, Yamato, and Gion, the three powerhouses with the power of the Emperor, have already surrounded him. Such a situation, even if you have wings, you can't escape. Even the Emperor of the Sea will be entangled. Not to mention Doflamingo, which is mere Shichibukai. Doflamingo, you and your Don Quixote family are done. Gion spoke indifferently. If you want revenge, just come to me. Yamato haughty and calm. Joker, your downfall is of great necessity to the stability of the world. Quote. Advertisement. Sabo spoke calmly. Be obedient and grab it. Koala, Khalifa, and the warriors of the little humans spoke one after another. Fufurfur. Under the pincer attack of the strong three parties. Doflamingo burst out laughing, as the proud heavenly Yaksha. The largest dark intermediary in the underground world. Shichibukai is a two-course meal. How could Doflamingo be caught obediently? The breeze blows. The ground beneath his feet changed drastically in character. Invisibly, a special mysterious force is spreading, affecting the surrounding environment. That was the awakening of Devil Fruit. Awakening ability of Doflamingo String Fruit ability. Assimilates everything around him into a white thread he can manipulate. Ever white, Doflamingo slammed his palm on the ground. Immediately, the entire palace ground was assimilated under his String Fruit awakening ability. A sea of white lines, rhythmic with Doflamingo's movements. Countless pairs of ghost hands made of tangled white threads seemed to appear out of thin air on the ground, attacking all directions indiscriminately. Dragon Claw Fist. Sabo's right hand is Jackie Chan's claw. Powerful advanced armed color winding. When the white line column hit like a sea wave touched, Jishi exploded. The other side. Gion swung his sword. The famous sword Jinpailuo shoots thousands of sword chi. Prepared to pierce all ghost hands. Also piercing Doflamingo's body. There were scars cut on his body, dripping with blood. Advertisement. For their own injuries. Doflamingo seemed unaware. The eyes under the sunglasses are full of anger and madness. 16 sacred bullets kill God. Doflamingo shouted angrily every word. 16 huge white lines like assault guns rose from the ground out of thin air. The top of each strand of white thread condensate is wrapped around the strongest armament hockey belonging to Doflamingo. The 16 strands of white thread fluttered like the hairs of gods and demons, releasing terrifying coercion. All of a sudden, all the armed white lines stretched in value. Following Doflamingo's instructions, indiscriminate scattering. Wherever he passed, there was a burst of anger. Let me come. Orc form Yamato gave a coquettish cry. Take the initiative to meet Doflamingo's most powerful moves. Boom. Yamato swung the mace in his hand. Then the atmosphere trembled. Face Doflamingo's strongest attack with all his might. Yamato showed his strongest power without hesitation. Overlord, King, S*X, Twine, Twine. Swing with a stick wrapped around Conqueror's hockey. Thunder, Ming, Ba, Gua. Amazing, the atmosphere and even the stable space are rippling and vibrating under the stick of Yamato. A series of large and crisscrossing cracks spread across the walls and ground of the palace hall. Finally handsome. Yamato's Thunder 8 trigrams and Doflamingo String Fruit Awakening's most powerful move touches. Those 16 holy bullets were almost ready to collapse. Click. Doflamingo's decades-old pink sunglasses were shattered, and his face was twisted and deformed under the pressure of a mace. A mouthful of blood mixed with internal organ fragments spewed out from its mouth. The whole person flew upside down like a kite with a broken string. Doflamingo, defeated. Advertisement Chapter 288. The exciting reunion of Cyrus and Rebecca's father and daughter. Advertisement. De Reese Rosa, Royal Heights, Sunflower Fields. Chi Yu, who smashed Pika's Titan with a single blow, calmly withdrew his sword. Let's go. Chi Yu greeted and stepped forward first. Violet and Rebecca, who came to their senses belatedly, hurriedly followed. Master Chi Yu is really amazing. It will work. The liberation of De Reese Rosa. Violet and Rebecca looked at each other and nodded excitedly. When Chi Yu took Violet and Rebecca to the palace. Thunder 8 trigrams. Yamato's imposing roar exploded. Doflamingo's holy bullet was crushed with a powerful blow wrapped around the mighty conqueror's hockey. Boom. Rumble. Accompanied by earth-shattering roar. Shichibukai Doflamingo, defeated. Everything is over. Cyrus and a group of small human warriors looked up at the sky. Reminiscing about these 030 sudden joys. The quiet atmosphere lasted for a while. Master Chi Yu. Khalifa's delighted voice broke the silence. Mr. Chi Yu, Master Chi Yu, Robin, Yamato, Koala and others also stepped forward one after another. Well done. Chi Yu smiled slightly. He raised his hand and gave Robin and the others a head-to-head kill as a reward. When it's Gion's turn. Gion snorted arrogantly, but he didn't dodge. Advertisement. Thank you this time. Gion rode. Thank me for what? Chi Yu asked back with a smile. Gion opened her mouth, and just wanted to say that if she hadn't followed Chi Yu, she might not be able to discover the tragedy of De Reese Rosa in another 10 years. Cemetery. Gion glanced behind Chi Yu. Well, I'll talk about that later, you first explain what's behind you. Gion didn't finish his sentence. But they saw Violet and Rebecca's legs go limp, and they sat straight on the ground. Gion's beautiful eyes widened, and she quickly raised her hands to show that she didn't do anything. Rebecca. The one-legged soldier Cyrus suddenly yelled excitedly. In 2 or 3 steps, she jumped in front of Rebecca. Dad, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. It's all Rebecca's fault. Obviously, Dad, you have always been by my side to protect, but I. Rebecca broke down in tears. Don't say sorry, Rebecca. Daddy never blamed you. It's better to say that it's me who should say sorry. I'm sorry for not telling you the truth all these years. I've been forcing you to practice swordsmanship you don't like, sorry. Cyrus patted his daughter's back lightly, but his tall body couldn't stop trembling slightly at this moment. Brother Cyrus. Violet's vermilion lips parted slightly, her pretty face, Siege, was dull, as if in a dream falling into the clouds. I just feel that everything in front of me is so unreal. So the mighty Doflamingo and Don Quixote family just shattered. The nightmare that haunted her for 8 years just disappeared. This kind of thing. Advertisement. Violet, you have worked so hard these years. Thanks to you, Lord Riku and Rebecca were not chased by Don Quixote. Cyrus thanks. Princess. Where is Princess Mancherly? The little human elder shouted anxiously. Master Mao, be careful. Princess auspicious people have their own celestial features, so they will be fine. Yeah, Wicca and other small human warriors stopped the old man. Is she the princess you are looking for? Koala took out the little human princess who was rescued from the ruins of the collapsed palace not long ago. Oh, it's a princess. Koala waved his hands again and again. Princess. Robin stepped forward gracefully, with Ji Yu Pan's beautiful eyes, as if pointing. Cough cough. Mr. Chi Yu, the relationship between you and the two princesses is really. Thank you very much. The little human warriors headed by Lord Mao cheered together and thanked Koala. What? It turns out that they are the two princesses of Derice Rosa. What a help. Chi Yu said. Great. Really good. Deng even walked towards Violet and the two of them. Hitting Doflamingo and Don Quixote family is not the end, the aftermath will be even more important. Prepare to discuss the aftermath of the aftermath. Guillaume suddenly opened his mouth. No no no. Well, I will assist the princesses to reorganize this country. The princess is safe and well. Guillaume nodded heavily. Advertisement chapter 289 The Wanokuni stage that is about to become lively. Advertisement. Hand over the aftermath of Derice Rosa to Guillaume, Cyrus, and Violet. As a pirate, Chi Yu routinely began to tap the loot. To be honest, Chi Yu wasn't very interested in treasures. But I have nothing to do when I'm free, so it doesn't hurt to have a look. Randomly grabbed a Don Quixote soldier to lead the way. Chi Yu brought Robin, Yamato, Koala and others to the underground dark port of Derice Rosa with ease. This is the trading center of the underground dark world of the New World, the transfer station of dark trade. At the same time, it also hides the luxurious treasure house that the Don Quixote family has painstakingly managed over the years. Go through an unknown number of bends. A huge stainless steel door lies in front of it. This is where Don Quixote's treasury is located. It contains countless rare treasures obtained by the Don Quixote family since its establishment, as well as all the secrets. It is the most important place in the family. Big, big, big. My lord, that's really all I know. How to enter the treasure house, only the young master and the cadres of the family know. The Don Quixote soldier who led the way cried. Get out. Chi Yu waved casually. The little soldier suddenly seemed to have received an amnesty, and he used his hands and feet to escape as quickly as possible. Looking at the gate in front of him, Chi Yu's big hand fell on the hilt of the sun's sacred sword at his waist. Clang. Accompanied by a bang, the door to the treasure house several meters thick exploded. It turned into countless square iron bodies and fell to the ground. Wow. As expected of Master Chi Yu. Advertisement. The eyes of Khalifa and other beauties are shining brightly. Quickly, their attention is attracted by the things in the treasure house. The dazzling golden light came from inside the treasure house, and everyone could barely open their eyes. Don Quixote family has accumulated decades of wealth, and its wealth can no longer be simply described as rich and powerful. Especially in the past 8 years, Doflamingo has used Derice Rosa as a stronghold, relying on Shichibukai's status and convenience, to push his career to the top, becoming the largest dark middleman in the entire underground world, and earning a lot of money. For gold treasure or something. Chi Yu was naturally not interested at all. However, the treasury of Doflamingo, the largest dark intermediary, may contain some rare treasures. Look carefully, maybe you will gain something. Originally, I just had the mentality to walk around and have a look. It turned out that Chi Yu really found something interesting. This is an extension of the historical article. Robin's eyes sparkled. Her beautiful eyes fell on the rubbings of historical texts printed on the paper without blinking. The mind is completely immersed in it, and it is already impossible to extricate itself. Ah, I seem to have seen these texts in Wanokuni. Yamato tilted his head. Wanokuni, let's go for a walk again. Chi Yu grinned. The next Wanokuni will be very lively. Now, when the royal palace on the second-story high ground collapsed. Cyrus and Violet use a luxurious palace base of the Don Quixote family as a temporary gathering place. While dealing with the chaos in the country, he did not forget to make arrangements for Chi Yu and his party. After half a day, advertisement. At that time, Chi Yu and his party walked leisurely through the capital and came to the palace. Violet and the others had been waiting for a long time. Except for Violet, Cyrus and Rebecca. There is also an old man with sea hair. He is Lycudold III, former king of Derice Rosa. Oh, Pat. Chi Yu waved his hand indifferently. You still have a lot to do now. Lycudold III bent his knees and knelt tremblingly on the ground. Cyrus, Violet, Rebecca and more warriors who still loyal to the royal family of Liku bowed down together. At the same time, naturally, it was Marine who got the news first. Yes, after thanking you well, get up. Only then did he set off again with the King Liku army to stabilize the turbulent situation in Derice Rosa. The big event of Shichibukai Fall happened in Derice Rosa. Naturally, it is impossible to hide it from the eyes and ears of the world. She doesn't have the majesty of being a king at all. King Liku solemnly bowed to the ground and thanked everyone. Behind him, Lycudold nodded heavily. Righteous. Master Chi Yu, the sun god, I will never forget this great grace of saving Derice Rosa, please accept my worship. Advertisement chapter 290 Sengoku's self-blame. Vice Admiral Crane's head to Tokushima. Advertisement. New World, new naval headquarters. The current Marshal Akainu, the former Marshal Sengoku, the Chief of Staff Vice Admiral Suru and other high-level officials gathered together. In the huge Marshal's office, the atmosphere was solemn. The temperature in the air seemed to drop below freezing. All because of the detailed reports of events that came back from Derice Rosa. 8 years. 8 full years. Marine, who claims to be righteous, is ignorant of the suffering that Derice Rosa has suffered. Although it has long been known that the position of King Derice Rosa of Doflamingo, who is a pirate, is wrong. But the former Marshal Sengoku never imagined that such a cruel truth as 277 is hidden in it. 8 years ago, Marine General Staff Vice Admiral Crane once proposed a thorough investigation of de Rosa. I want to find King Liku and ask the truth. It was Sengoku who dismissed Vice Admiral Suru's plea. Because of Doflamingo's Shichibukai status. At the same time, it was also because the world government personally issued the order. They are not allowed to have any intervention in the event of de Rosa's change of dynasty. For world government orders, Sengoku has always been obedient and will not resist in the slightest. But now, after learning the bloody and cruel truth, Sengoku regretted it. If only he could have been tougher back then. There would be no vicious theft of the country today. After Shichibukai G. Lok Dar's intention to topple Alabasta half a year ago, the second 7 warlords of the sea theft happened. And it's a bad thing that's been going on for 8 years. If it explodes completely, it would be an unprecedented blow to Marine's prestige. Advertisement. That's why I said long ago that all pirates are untrustworthy. All pirates should be expelled for sure. Marshal Akainu spoke coldly. It's all my fault. Former Marshal Sengoku looks dark. Mr. Sengoku, I intend to directly abolish the 7 warlords of the sea system. You should have no objection. Marshal Akainu asked in a deep voice with 2 cigars in his mouth. Now you are the marshal. But the aftermath of de Rosa. Let me do it. Sengoku said. Mr. Sengoku, of course it would be great if you would like to go. Marshal Akainu said. Come on, Sengoku, get ready to go. The Chief of Staff, Vice Admiral, stood up. The Vice Admiral Crane that has been chased by Doflamingo and Don Quixote family for more than 10 years. Nature is the best person to handle this incident. The situation has happened. What can be done now is to remedy as much as possible. Besides, I don't blame you for what happened back then. It seems that Doflamingo and world government have reached a cooperation agreement. Vice Admiral Crane comforted. Before going out, Sakazuki, G5 Virgo will leave it to you. Vice Admiral Crane rode. Virgo, he is still a capable marine, I quite appreciate it, but if there is really a problem, it can only be eliminated. Marshal Akainu spoke coldly. Another Shichibukai kleptocracy occurred in de Rosa. Soon, there was a wave of turmoil in the world. Even if the world government deliberately buried this scandal for the sake of face. Advertisement. But now that the news has spread in the country, even the oppressive power of the world government cannot completely shut the mouths of all citizens of de Rosa. It starts with Morgans, the president of World Economic News. The major news agencies across the sea flocked to de Rosa like cats smelling fishy. The truth of the incident could no longer be concealed. Just 2 days, with the collective efforts of journalists such as Morgans, the whole story of de Rosa's theft of the country is spread all over the world. Then, all countries in the sea were shaken by it. Compared with ordinary small island village civilians. Naturally, those who pay the most attention to this incident are countries of all sizes around the world. World Summit 2 years later, we must not be silent anymore. The person who seized the house was the 7 warlords of the sea hand-picked by the world government. Any sophistry is too pale. How can this keep other countries that join the government from palpitations and fears? De Rosa is much more miserable than them. Even if the world's 0.7 governments are in emergency public relations immediately. They also suffered from the Shichibukai kleptocracy once. King Cobra made up his mind. But in the face of facts. And the methods are cruel and outrageous. However, de Rosa, who has this level of identity, was taken away by the pirates. Especially the member countries of the world government. After all, de Rosa is a member of world government. Countries cannot be convinced. Among them, there is no one who empathizes with de Rosa than Alabasta. Fortunately, with the help of the Straw Hat crew, this survived. Because they don't know if they will be the next to suffer. By contrast, advertisement.